Everyone, my name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. We got a lot to talk about today. I'm going to start with the Acosta story. Then I'm going to talk about something about Ramaswamy and JD Vance. There was something I wanted to talk about with JD Vance yesterday that I just ran out of time to do, and JD Vance is brilliant. He is so brilliant, and I'm at the radio station today. Drinking my creamless coffee, which is not that bad. What a beautiful day, guys. Doesn't get more beautiful than this. We'll be back. Well, not back. We'll be live right after this commercial. Here we go.
9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome to the program. It is Tuesday, January 28th already. Oh my goodness. February is almost here, and that's Black History Month, which is, for some reason, on the shortest month of the year. You know, I always wonder, did they make Black History Month on the shortest month of the year as kind of like, you know, some hate thing? I don't know, but Black History Month's next month, and we'll definitely be talking about some of that. Welcome to the program. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating, I almost said 78 years, not yet, quite yet, 48 years on the radio. I'm a little behind on my coffee, guys, so bear with me. It might take me a little longer than usual for my brain to wake up. But we've got a lot to cover on the program, and we're going to cover a lot of it. I want to start with this firing of Jim Acosta at CNN. And make no mistake about it, he was fired. This guy, and what he did was the way he did it was so stupid, he really did himself in here. And we're going to talk about this and what it means, because it does mean something. Jim Acosta was, in Trump's first term, the biggest showboater I've ever seen in television news, right? The White House press conference was him trying to go viral, and it did very well by him. He became famous. I never heard of this jerk before that, and he became very famous. And he got promoted from the White House press briefing room through all of his inappropriate conduct towards and disrespect for President Trump during the first term. And he got like a major show on CNN in a really good time slot. But like most things that are anti-Trump in cable news, the ratings are low. The ratings are very low. The show's been a failure. Who cares what Jim Acosta has to say? Who cares what any of these people on CNN or MSNBC have to say, right? And CNN used a tactic to fire Jim Acosta that is used by employers all over this country when they want to get rid of someone. When they want to get rid of someone, a lot of times they don't want to fire them, so they do things to try to make people quit. As a textbook example of this, if you work somewhere and you're paid by the hour, your boss wants to get rid of you, so he cuts back your hours and hopes you'll just move on. Because if they fire you, they got to pay you unemployment, and there's, you know, and they don't want to do that. Well, what CNN did was change his time slot from his daytime time slot to midnight. They were going to put him on at midnight, And Jim Acosta is just too darn good for midnight. Although they tried to sell it to him. They said, well, it's midnight on the East Coast. It's prime time on the West Coast. So you'll be on in prime time, 9 p.m. on the entire California, the whole West Coast. Well, he was too humiliated by that, so he quit. And tell you the truth, Jim Acosta, midnight Eastern, might have done pretty good because he'd be prime time in those states that are filled with liberal lunatics. California, Seattle, Oregon, Colorado, and all those. Well, Colorado's on Mountain, but he'd be on at 8 o'clock in Colorado. So he quit. So now we don't know the inner workings of any of these people's contracts, but when people are broadcasters, they have non-competes. They all have these non-competes. They can't go work somewhere else for a certain period of time. And that's even if you get fired. Non-competes are insane. I've known people that have just had insane stories. The one I always talk about because it was insane is there used to be 2 or 3 different companies that did the traffic for all the radio stations in the South Florida, Miami radio market. There were 2 major ones. And I knew a guy who, well, he got let go. He did traffic in the mornings and he got let go. And I don't remember what the exact reason was, but he was a decent guy, but he got let go. And he had a non-compete. He could not do traffic for 2 years anywhere, not just in this market, anywhere. Who cares? I mean, why would you give a non-compete to a traffic reporter? Isn't that crazy? So I learned my lessons pretty hard about that one through that guy. And he never ended up back on the air in the market as far as I know. And I don't know if he ended up back on the air anywhere else because that's a long time. And if you quit, like Jim Acosta did, there could even be more penalties. And what Jim Acosta does not understand is no one likes him. You know, there are people that have gone off on their own, like Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly. Tucker Carlson's the better example, but Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly have people who like them, that are interested in them, want to hear what they have to say, enjoy their perspective on things and the topics they cover. So they have an audience where they can go on their own and set up something. But if you're a liberal jerk like Jim Acosta, and Don Lemon found out about this, there's no audience for you in the alt media. So I don't know what he's thinking, but it's very, very possible that Jim Acosta ends up on the local news somewhere. That happens with some of these national people. They end up on the local news. It happens all the time. I've seen it happen many times. You know, so I was watching local news in Boston, and they had a guy on there that used to be on Fox News. It wasn't one of the, I can't remember his name. Oh well, whatever. But it's a very, very common thing. So Jim Acosta's made some tragic mistakes here. But you may say, well, who cares about Jim Acosta? Well, this isn't about Jim Acosta. It's about the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. So why did CNN do this? You know, the country is MAGA now. Well, it's been MAGA for a long time, but now it's been proven, even to the Trump haters, to the liberals, that we live in a MAGA nation. And since we're in a MAGA nation, they know that if they want to have any audience whatsoever, they need to get rid of some of the hardcore anti-Trump people who are probably overpaid like Jim Acosta. And if they fired him, they'd have to pay him some type of benefits and packages. But if he quits, he's probably on his own with nothing. Like I remember when Don Lemon was actually fired from CNN, they gave Don Lemon, if I remember correctly, $10 million. Of which he's burned through a lot of it trying to do these hopeless online ventures. Nobody cares about Don Lemon. But Jim Acosta really did himself in, and it really shows you an acknowledgement by the left of a total defeat of liberalism and liberal media. that this is a MAGA country, it's a pro-Trump country, and viewers that consume news do not want to watch something that is anti-Trump. That's why Acosta is out. And Jim Acosta is one of the foils to President Trump. This is beautiful. Now, it's not going to help CNN. You know, CNN, they have damaged their brand so much, it's virtually beyond repair. They'd have to fire everyone except that Jennings guy they got and hire all new people and start all over, because that brand with what they have over there in general is not liked by anyone. No one wants to see or hear what they're selling on CNN. So Jim Acosta has been fired, but he's not the only person that's been fired. There's been someone from Trump world who's been fired, and I'm going to get into that after the break, and I'm talking about Vivek Ramaswamy. And we're going to talk about that when we get back, and then I'm going to move on to some other things. J.D. Vance is so brilliant, and he made an incredibly brilliant point that I've not heard anyone ever make. And we got a lot of other things to cover as well, and your calls. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Now, Mike Lindell over at MyPillow has what he's calling the mega sale going on. I'm going to call it the MAGA sale. But at the mega sale at MyPillow.com, with our promo code Kane, there's incredible deals going on. The flannel sheets are just $44 and change here, and they are usually like almost $100. I mean, they're less than $45 now, the flannel sheets. I've been sleeping on the flannel sheets the last couple of nights at home from MyPillow. They are spectacular. The MyPillow towel set, just $29.98. Those are normally $69.98, and just $29.98 with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. In fact, when I was staying at my daughter's house over the weekend, I've neglected to get her MyPillow towels. I thought I did, and I actually had to use some other towels. I don't know where those things came from, Target or whatever. I don't know, but I have not dried off with a non-MyPillow towel in a couple of years. And boy, what a difference it is, because the other towels just spread the water around your body. So I'm going to order my daughter a couple sets of the MyPillow towels and just have them sent directly to her. They're just $29.98 with our promo code Kane at checkout. In fact, it's free shipping on orders over $75. So I think I might buy her 3 sets and have them sent to her, because then I'll get free shipping on top of this great deal on the towel set. And I'm going to get her the towels that are the same color. She has tan towels, so they have a whole bunch of new colors on the towels. I'll get her 3 sets of the tan towels and just surprise her. She'll get them delivered. She'll be very excited. But it's also free shipping on orders over $75. That's, of course, with our promo code Kane at checkout. You can also order by phone, toll free, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. We'll be right back.
Sidelines. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now.
And that's a great deal. Welcome. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Okay, let me cue this up with Vivek. Wait a minute. Where's that? There it is.
After like 3 Scaramucci's. So we're hearing your...
Okay. We'll get into that when we get back. Welcome, everyone. Yes, we love Trump, too. Who doesn't love Trump? How could you not love Trump? So let me know what you guys think in the chat. Was Vivek Ramaswamy let go? Or did he leave on his own? What do you guys think?
Listen to Money Talk Radio South Florida with me, Ellis Martin, 9:30 a.m. weekdays here on your true oldies station.
Brian Craig here. Our 6th annual cruise is coming up, and you're all invited. This time, we're sailing for 7 nights on Celebrity Cruise Line's
Welcome, everyone.
ship, The Ascent, to Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, and St. Martin.
I think it was kicked out,
March
yeah.
30th. We have private shore excursions, private cocktail parties, group activities. We're going to go to the shows together and much, much more. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot right now. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
Oh, that's just a cover.
And online at cruisingdepot.com to make your reservation and lock in our private group rate. Nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Our number 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We have so much to cover. Let's take a couple of calls, then I'm going to get into Vivek. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike. Up early today.
Yeah, I know. You know, here's the deal about Jim Acosta. He's not Catherine Herridge or Megyn Kelly that can go from one of these stations to the other and then end up on the internet.
That's right. Yeah, that's correct.
He's not those people. He's not even Bill O'Reilly, who's doing the internet thing as well. So this is a guy that basically Trump made him.
That's right. And no one likes him. No one.
No one. And I mean, you look at all these media outlets that are failing. There's a reason why Jeff Bezos fired a bunch of people from the Washington Post. There's a reason.
What's that?
They were all anti-Trump.
That's right. That's right. It's a Trump war. Right. You're right on the money, Mike from Louisiana. So, Vivek Ramaswamy, of course, has left Trump world. I believe can't say that he was fired because he didn't really hold a job, but he was told he was no longer welcome. And he was on Jesse Waters last night. Let me play some of this. And what do you guys think? And I'll explain more after I play this. I think Vivek was fired from Trump world. What do you think? Let me play. This is Jesse Waters with Vivek last night.
So we're hearing you're leaving Doge after like 3 Scaramucci's. What happened?
Well, the reality is I'm pursuing elected office very shortly. We'll have an announcement soon. But Jesse, things are off to a great start. I think President Trump has proven, look at the actions that he took in that first week, the most pro-merit president I think we've had in a long time. And as for my vision grounded in constitutional law and the future of the country, I think it's best pursued through elected office. And I'm confident that they're going to succeed in slashing and burning that federal bureaucracy.
People are saying you didn't get along with Musk. What happened there?
I think that's incorrect. But what I would say is we had different and complementary approaches.
Oh, that means yes. We had different and complementary approaches, which means we didn't get along.
Focused more on a constitutional law, legislative-based approach. We focused more on a technology approach, which is the future approach. No better person to lead that technology, digital approach than Elon Musk. But when you're talking about a constitutional revival, it's not just done through the federal government. It's done through federalism, where states also lead the way.
Okay, so he dodged all those questions, so no doubt he was let go. And I'll tell you why. Vivek started that whole MAGA civil war over his tweet over the H-1B visas, all right? So when he started, and I don't think Trump is really in the mood to be doing MAGA civil war time, okay? And when he divided the MAGA movement like he did, that was it. I think right then they wanted him out. And you get someone like him, and you can tell by that interview, this cover, well, I'm going to run for governor, I'm running for office. That's like when somebody resigns from a powerful job and then they say, well, I'm going to dedicate and spend more time with my family. You know, they're being pushed out. Okay? And that's what's going on with Vivek Ramaswamy. And I'll tell you, you know, I always had reservations about him. I'm not going to go through them all now because I talked about them a lot last year during the presidential campaign time. And I've not changed any of my opinions on Vivek. But I always said if he's welcomed by Trump, that's you know, all the rest is forgotten, and he's welcomed by me. But I must say, I'm glad he's out of there. I was not comfortable with him being there. I was afraid of the Trojan horse thing, and I'm glad that President Trump and Elon have shown him the door because he wasn't right there. He can run for governor. I mean, he doesn't need my permission to do that. I don't know if Ohio will elect him or not. But for him to be pushed out is a pretty big deal because J.D. Vance and him are like best friends. In fact, one of J.D.'s kids is named Vivek. I don't know if he named him after Ramaswamy or not, but they went to college together. And they got that Indian connection between him and J.D.'s wife. So for him to get pushed out like that, he must have really, really been causing trouble over there and ticking people off who just didn't like him or didn't trust him. But make no mistake about it, he is out. Also, Google has announced that, and Google is the #1 internet search engine. So they're like #1 on the internet. Google announced that on their maps and all of their things, they are going to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico on all their graphics, all their systems, all their maps to the Gulf of America. That's absolutely amazing. You know, a country can call anything whatever it wants. China calls Taiwan China. That's why you hear mainland China. Okay, they say it's theirs. Taiwan even calls themselves China. They're the real China. Okay, but the rest of the world call it Taiwan. So a country can call something whatever it wants. And, but for them to, this is really amazing because 4 years ago, President Trump was banned from everything. Everything. And now not only is he back at #1, he's got the people that banned him 4 years ago who said he was an insurrectionist changing things without him even asking them to. Like Google changing the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. That's a big change. And when we get some warm weather back, some warm weather with sun, I'm going to take a drive across Alligator Alley to the Gulf of America, and I'll make a YouTube video of it. I've been over on the West Coast, but I have not gone to the beach on the Gulf Coast in a long time. You know, when you live in Florida, you really don't go to the beach that much. The beach is mostly for tourists, right? For the most part. Kids and tourists, you know. But I'm going to go to the Gulf of America for sure and dip my toes in the Gulf of America. Who doesn't want to do that? And, you know, and President Trump, who's so good at branding and marketing, he didn't call it the Gulf of the United States. The Gulf of America covers all of the Americas, North and South America, Central America, and the Caribbean's part of the Americas too, I guess. So it covers everything. It's not United States centric. And Mexico can, you know, stick it. Who cares what Mexico thinks, right? Yeah, it's really amazing that he did that. It's a beautiful thing. Now, you know, a lot of the things he's doing, you may say, well, these are executive orders. They can be reversed by the next president or when the Democrats come in. A lot of it will be done by legislation that he's talking about. But what President Trump is doing, and if you watched his speech in Miami at the Republican retreat yesterday, he talked about he's starting a new movement in this country, and he is changing the mindset of the people in this country. And he doesn't have to change the mindset of as many people as you think because he just won the majority vote, including all the battleground states and everything. So the majority of voters already think like Trump. But he is changing the way that people look at everything in this country. And that's something that's very long-lasting and is very difficult to reverse. That's why CNN fires Acosta. And I'll tell you this firing of Vivek Ramaswamy. A year ago, this guy was a rock star. Where are his people now defending Vivek Ramaswamy? Now, I'm going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. When we get back, I want to play a clip of J.D. Vance, who is so brilliant. And he's brought something up in a way that I've not heard anyone else ever bring up before. And I want to share it with you, and we'll talk about it, all right? Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Now, I was going to talk to you guys about this during the break, because this is more of a YouTube kind of story than I think it is for the radio. But if you want to call me on the radio about it, you're welcome. This whole thing with Brett Cooper, okay? I've got nothing against Brett Cooper. But you guys familiar? She dropped a trailer for her new show. She left, she was let go by the Daily Wire, or she quit the Daily Wire. And okay. Okay, hold on. Let me just pull this up. Okay. So, Brett Cooper, she dropped a trailer yesterday for her new show. And I've got nothing against Brett Cooper. But all these people are making a big deal about her. And she was talking, and if you watch her trailer, which is very self-serving, she shows herself, with dirty fingernails, which is not an accident. She moved to a farm in New York with her husband. So the dirty fingernails are on purpose because she's a farmer, I guess, and she is an actress. She's a farmer, and she gets dirt under her fingernails, and she's putting all these books up like she's some intellectual because she's read all these books. And then they end this long trailer by saying, it's like her sitting down to do her show. Are you ready, Brett? Or and then it goes to black. You see her face, then it goes to black, and she says, I'm ready. This trailer, Brett Cooper, got nothing against her, but she acts like, with this, I'm ready, like she's some kind of victim of something, and she's got some story to tell. She doesn't have jack to tell. She worked at the Daily, and I'm no fan of Ben Shapiro, guys, okay? I think he's very unlikable. He's as unlikable as Jim Acosta, okay? But she's an actress who was reading a script and playing a part. They had writers that wrote everything she said. And they had her in this fake dorm room with this gamer girl thing going on. And they made her famous. And she's acting like she hasn't done jack. Let me make sure my mic's down. She hasn't done jack shit. And what story I'm ready. This isn't like Monica Lewinsky right after the impeachment who's telling her story of sex with and abuse by Bill Clinton or Paula Jones or something, okay? She's an actress who's been reading a script 2 years, playing a part as this gamer girl conservative for the Daily Wire, and she just got married, which is great. Her husband is a marketing executive. So obviously, her husband, who's an ad executive, said, we can make a shit ton of money, more than you're making here at the Daily Wire, and we can keep all of it. Because he's a marketing agency guy. So her contract was up, and she quit. I mean, tell the truth. My husband's a marketing guy. We can make more money on our own than working for the Daily Wire. We can keep it all, and he can give me sponsorship. If she told that, then I'd be like, great. Not walking around like she's some kind of victim. And the reason she did it is fine. I had nothing wrong with that, but don't act like you're a victim. And Brett, I mean, come on. And a lot of these people, Candace Owens and the Quartering, are all over Brett Cooper. They're clout chasing. right? They're clout chasing, and probably wouldn't mind having a relationship with her advertising executive husband too. But it's insane.
4633 954 922 4633.
If you are a lawful permanent resident.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 48 years on the air.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Okay, so J.D. Vance is brilliant. Now, this is something I wanted to share this on the show yesterday, and I just didn't get to it. And I want to share it today and talk about it because he's so brilliant. And this is with that interview we did with Margaret Brennan, and she's so obsessed with all these immigrants because she's married to a Muslim Syrian guy. And I wish she would just be honest about it, okay? But he's talking about birthright citizenship, and we're being told by everyone, oh, no, that's the Constitution. Well, not the way that they're using it. All right? So let me play this. This is J.D. Vance on Face the Nation. Really, Face the Nation? There are homeowners associations that probably have more viewers than Face the Nation. Face a couple dozen people. I mean, if you had a homeowners association exclusive show that in the villages here in Florida, you would probably have more people watching than watch Face the Nation. Let's face it. Come on. It used to be a big deal, these Sunday shows, but they haven't been a big deal for a long time. So this is from JD on Face the Nation yesterday, talking about birthright citizenship in ways that I haven't heard any of our politicians talk about it before.
You are a lawful permanent resident or a legal immigrant who plans to stay. Your children, of course, should become American citizens. But let's say you're the child of an ambassador. You don't become...
But that's not part of it.
Well, that is
already a carve-out
an
having to do
important
with kids of
principle.
diplomats.
But we're saying that carve-out should apply to anybody who doesn't plan to stay here. If you come here on vacation and you have a baby in an American hospital, that baby doesn't become an American citizen. If you're an illegal alien and you come here temporarily, hopefully, your child does not become an American citizen by virtue of just having been born on American soil. It's a very basic principle in American immigration law that if you want to become an American citizen and you've done it the right way, and the American people in their collective wisdom have welcomed you into our national community, then you become a citizen. But temporary residents, people who come in here, whether legally or illegally, and don't plan to stay, their children should become American citizens. I don't know any country that does that or why we would be different.
Okay, now before we get to Margaret, you can hear in the background with her judgment. You know, all this judgment. You know, the thing with... you know, he's getting some things out, and she doesn't want it out there, so she's trying to discount what it is. She's being condescending to him. But, you know, and that's not why I'm playing this clip. He's going to say something in a moment that I wanted to share that I've not heard anyone say, at least not since I was a little kid. And it's very smart. But, you know, when you talk about the illegals that are here, okay, what are you talking about? You're talking about fugitives from justice. These are criminals. They're in the country illegally, so they're criminals. They are fugitives from justice, especially now with Tom Homan. So when you're a fugitive from justice and you give birth, you got a citizen there that anchors you into the country, that's insane. But anyway, he gets into something else that I wanted to share.
This is a country founded by immigrants.
Well, this is a country founded by...
unique country.
This is a very unique country.
And you know, she's one of these... She's one of these smile talkers. This is the country founded by immigrants, and she smiles, which means you're a dummy and I'm smart and I'm mocking you. And this is a country founded by immigrants. That's why I'm playing this clip. So let me rewind it and hear what he says to that.
Community, then you become a citizen. But temporary residents, people who come in here, whether legally or illegally, and don't plan to stay, their children should become American citizens. I don't know any country that does that or why we would be different.
Well, this is a country founded by immigrants.
Well, this is a country founded by... This is a very unique country, and it was founded by some immigrants and some settlers, but just because we were founded by immigrants doesn't mean that 240 years later that we have to have the dumbest immigration policy in the world. No country says that temporary visitors their children will be given complete access to the benefits and blessings of American citizenship. America should actually look out for the interests of our citizens first, and that means, again, if you're here permanently and lawfully, your kid becomes an American citizen. If you're not here permanently, if you're not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States and don't plan to be, why would we make those people's children American citizens permanently?
Okay. So this is why I play. What he brought up is so true, and she just, and it really shows how brainwashed we've been in this country. This this country was not founded by immigrants. That's a lie, and that lie has been told so much and taught to us that we've believed it. This country was founded by colonists and settlers. Those are not immigrants. This country was founded by colonists and settlers, not immigrants. That came later, and the country was already here. All right? And that big lie that this country was founded by immigrants, because what was here? Nothing. You had a bunch of what was here? You had a bunch of tribal, warlike people that didn't even have horses, because the colonists brought horses to the Americas. There were no horses in the Americas before the colonists. So we had a bunch of warring Indians who were scalping each other, who were nomadic. Mayflower and before and after, those were not immigrants. Those are colonists and settlers. But they've sold us this big lie to make it sound like this country was founded by these people that are invading us, these trespassers, as President Trump calls them. I mean, in South America, what was that movie that Mel Gibson did about the South American? They were doing human sacrifices until the Europeans came to the Americas and settled it and explored it. These were not immigrants. But they've sold us that to give a moral equivalency between us and them. That is a big lie, and I'm so glad he said that. But look at what's going on here. What do you hear from the Democrats? All of them, from the top down. Who's going to do this job? Who's going to do that job? Who's going to pick the fruit? Who's going to pick the vegetables? Who's going to work in the hospitals? Who's going to mow your lawn? Who's going to clean your house? Who's going to? What they're talking about, the Democrats, with that is their slave labor force that they have in this country. This is a slave passage. And this is a way you got to think about it. If slavery, if we never had the Civil War, and slavery didn't end, okay, we didn't have the Civil War, the war to free the slaves, which, make no mistake about it, don't let anybody tell you the Civil War was about states' rights. Yeah, states' rights to own slaves, okay? It was a war to end slavery. But if slavery would not have ended during the Civil War and that war never happened, what would have happened? What would the antebellum South slavery have developed into in 2025? And my guess would be this. What would have happened is slavery, the slaves would have eventually gotten some small rights, and by 2025, they'd still be living in quarters provided to them either by slave owners or the government, and be paid a small, tiny wage, but they'd still be slaves. Well, that's what's going on now with the Democrat illegals. They get room and board in exchange for their labor. Sometimes it's a hotel room in New York, or it's some closed down, condemned Motel 6 in Kissimmee, all right? But this is make no mistake about it, this is a slave labor force that the Democrats have brought here. It's more than just about the replacement theory. It's about their slave labor force. Some of it's labor slavery and some of it's sex slavery, but it's slavery. A new kind of slavery. And in the future, this period will be looked upon by historians as just that. And if you listen to the arguments that Democrats are making today about stopping the slave trade of illegal immigration, who's going to pick your strawberries, who's going to clean your toilets, who's going to take care of your kids, who's going to take care of your lawn, who's going to do this, who's going to do that, who's going to, those are the same arguments that the Democrats were making in the 1830s, 40s, and 50s when slavery was being, the abolishment of slavery was being discussed. Civil War didn't just happen. There was 20, 30 years of hardcore debate in this country to end slavery. And the Democrats said, prior to the Civil War, the same thing. Who's going to pick our cotton? Who's going to be the mammy and take care of our kids? Who's going to work in the mill? Right? It was the same arguments then for and those slaves were put up too, like these migrants, with room and board taken care of, clothing provided for, housing provided for. Just like today. It's Democrat slavery in America 2.0 updated to the 21st century. That's what's going on here. This other thing, if you're a fugitive from justice and you give birth, your kid's not a citizen who gets all the benefits of U.S. citizenship. That's crazy that's going on. So we'll take our last break of the first hour. I got a lot to cover today, but I would like to hear your thoughts on everything I brought up so far, and I'm going to bring up many more things as well. Our number is toll-free 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. And I want to tell you guys that are going on our cruise, which is 2 months away. We leave on March 30th, and we sold out. I'm going to reach out to Ian. I haven't talked to him since I've been back from California. I'm going to text him this morning to find out if there's any availability for cabins on the cruise, because we sold out. Every once in a while, something opens up. But those of you that are already booked, if you have not done it, call Ian and book on our shore excursions. Some of these shore excursions are going to fill up, okay, because a lot more people are coming than we planned on. It's a huge group. In fact, on one of our excursions, we may have to get a bigger boat. But if we don't know until we get there, we may not be able to get a bigger boat. So if you've not already done it, call. I'm going to give you the number, but you guys that are already booked should know it. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. Let him know you want to join us on the shore excursions, and he'll handle it for you, okay? I have him book mine because I told him that do it on the website. It's a little confusing for me, and I'm pretty tech savvy. So give Ian a call. If these are for people that are already booked on the cruise and book on the shore excursions. 561, and I go on all these shore excursions with you, by the way, okay? And those are some of the highlights of the trip, are the shore excursions. We have a great time, and when I think back on the different cruises, this is our 6th one. I remember them by the shore excursion. So give Ian a call, 561-244-5779, because Ian will say, you remember that thing on the cruise? And I'm like, which one was that? And I said, well, what were the shore excursions we did? And he'll tell me, oh yeah, I remember. The one when we went to the Blue Lagoon in Mexico, I remember that. Yeah, so that's how I remember. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. Call us on hold. Stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hi, I'm Sean Smith.
Now, those of you that were listening to me at the bottom of the hour talk about this thing with Brett Cooper. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, I got nothing against Brett Cooper, but to portray her as somehow victimized. I mean, they did the same thing with Candace Owens, but she's with Candace Owens. It's different. They're saying she was victimized by the Jews because she's doesn't support Israel's fight against these terrorists. But this thing with Brett Cooper. I mean, are you ready, Brett? I'm ready. What has she done? What has she done that she's ready to tell? It's so bizarre to me. She read a script for 2 years that was written by writers at the Daily Wire on that set that she was on. I don't understand why she's such a cause celeb other than just hatred of... I mean, I do not like Ben Shapiro. I mean, he talks too fast. I'm not a fan of his, but it's just bizarre. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that. You know, mixed nuts. I don't understand. You know, well, I'm not going to say. I'll save that for later. I was going to comment on what you were doing in the chat. I'm not defending the Daily Wire at all. I mean, I support Israel, so I do. But all right, we're back. All right, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Call us on hold, stand by. Our number 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name?
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Angie from Colorado.
Hey, Angie.
Glad to see you back. Hey, back in good Florida, safe from California. Anyway, what I love about President Trump is I was a legal alien. And yes, I always said that because...
Wait a minute. You were a... Wait, slow down. You were a legal or illegal?
No, legal.
Legal. Okay, legal.
I was a legal alien. That's what my green card said. Okay? I entered the country legally in 1975. I was 1 month 19. Okay? I did not become American citizen. I had no interest until our president, beloved Trump, ran for the first time. I studied him. I did my due diligence. He is German. His parents were German immigrants,
and his mom's from Scotland. So German and Scottish.
Well, German and Scottish, yeah. And they did say they were Swedish at first because of what was going on, but that's okay. And I really watched what he was doing. And I said to my husband, I said, honey, I'm ready to make American. I love the country. Okay, I always did everything correct. I said, I'm going to study to make American. I studied to make American. It cost me a lot of money. I had to go to Denver several times. It was grueling. I had to study. What these people must understand, just like Melania, I love Melania. We did not just come over here to pluck our butts here and be lazy. I was 4 weeks in the country prior. I was a medical technician. My English was Oxford English. And I entered in Florida, Vero Beach. I became a waitress at Bahama Joe's. And people said, why? They would accept my German papers from Germany. I said, no. I have to speak the American slang. My English is Oxford English. And I worked my way up. I'm a licensed real estate broker now, and I carry also an insurance license. I voted for President Trump. I campaigned for him the 3 times. So what I like to tell all these folks that are born here, they must understand we can't just let folks coming into the country and let them do whatever. I am with President Trump to get them out of the country if they're illegal.
Yeah. Well, I agree with everything you said, and you said one thing though that I was curious about. You said you entered in Vero Beach. Who does that unless they wash up on the beach?
I lived in Vero Beach. No, we entered in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
New York and then New Jersey. And
all right. Okay, I was wondering. That seems strange. No, that's great. That's great.
Yeah. So what I like to see is, and what I'm thinking of writing a letter to President Trump and saying, you know what, for folks to understand, maybe get some people together that entered the country legally and have a crew and talk to people.
Well, he has that. He has them at the top of his administration. The first lady and the first bud, Elon Musk and Melania, and all of his children except Tiffany are the children of legal immigrant mothers.
Yeah, but most Americans here, like even here, yesterday I was with a friend and she said to me, she's from the Philippines, came here the right way with her mother. She said, you can't talk about this. You are so upset with what Trump is doing. That's not right. He should give them a Social Security, blah, 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 blah. She doesn't comprehend. She does not comprehend that we paid a lot of money. I had to study 100 questions. Do you understand? When I made a citizenship, I was grilled with questions, writing, and speaking. It's not that.
Yeah, they should still do. If you look at legal immigrants, they know more about this country and how it works and its history than than AOC. I promise you.
Yes, and AOC is an idiot. You know, I told everybody, okay, fine. You guys don't understand communism. Yeah, you call them Marxists. But you know what? Just calling somebody a Marxist and don't understand really what it is. You have no clue. Socialism. Why don't you all take a look?
Let me ask you. Where are you from originally? Did you say Germany?
Yes.
What did you happen? What part were you in? East Germany or West Germany?
No. Oh God, no. I'm from West Germany.
Okay. I only asked because you mentioned the socialism and they don't know what it's like. Because I thought maybe you experienced it in East Germany.
No, because we learned that. I learned that, and I had friends that came to Germany, you know, that legally came to Germany that left Russia, you know, and I know of some refugees that swam into Germany to escape Eastern Germany. So I heard it firsthand from people. I understand the difference from refugee when you do it the right way. You do it the right.
Well, that's exactly right. Well, listen, you've added a lot to the conversation, and I appreciate your call. How long ago did you become a U.S. citizen?
The first time when Trump announced when he came down the escalator.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's great. When he came down the escalator, it was inspired you to be a U.S. citizen. That's great. All right, well, listen, I appreciate the call.
Okay, thank you. Have a pleasant day.
All right, you too. Nice lady, and her English is pretty good. I think she did pretty. She uses some of the phrases of Melania, like I decided to make citizen. Like the funniest thing I've heard Melania say, it was a campaign rally in Ohio, and she's like, "We always like to visit the Ohio." I it's kind of funny. I want to talk about Jupiter Joe Thomas. There are all kinds of ways to do your retirement, but only annuities guarantee you two things. One, your money's not at risk, and you have a guaranteed income stream for the rest of your life. Pretty good deal, huh? Absolutely. And last time I was in studio with Joe Thomas, I asked him, what are the different things people ask for, whether when it comes to retirement, whether they're, a middle-class person, a working-class person, or a high-income earner who's retiring. He said they all, same thing, a revenue stream. That's right. Everyone always wants and needs in retirement as many revenue streams as possible. Okay, and you're not going to make it on the Etsy store. I'm telling you, it's expensive out there, no matter where you are. And when you retire, if prices even froze at the point when you retired, maybe you could struggle by. But there's inflation, prices fluctuate, things happen. You need a new car. You want to take a vacation. That extra revenue stream. You want to play golf every day. Golf's expensive. All right, your wife wants to get her hair done. You want to go out and have nice meals. That extra revenue stream, no matter who you are, always comes in handy. Give Joe Thomas a call. He's offering free phone consultations to our listeners. His number is 561-743-0999. Now, you can take advantage of this free consultation no matter where you're located in the United States. So if you're listening on the line, online, anywhere in America, you can take advantage of this. 561 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And you can go to his website and find his number there. It's easy to remember, JupiterJoe.com. That's JupiterJoe.com. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Ken from Jupiter.
Hey, Ken.
I
ask me the price of eggs.
marvel at
Watch.
how the leftists have bastardized the Constitution over time. So now it's the 14th Amendment, has been for some time. As far as what is a citizen, I mean,
Really? What is the 14th? Can you read me can you tell me what the 14th Amendment says? With your laughing? No, don't look it up. You know. Tell me. Just tell me. You know. Just recite it to me. Oh, but you know what it says. Oh.
I got a basic understanding.
A basic understanding?
Well, the one thing that
Do you have kids? Do you have kids?
I don't.
You don't? Oh, okay. Well, I'll use this example anyway, even though you're a grown man without kids. But when you register kids, well, you were a kid and your parents registered you for school, right? Did you go to public school or private school? Okay. Okay. So when your parents registered you for public school, what school did they register you in? I don't mean the name of it, but was it a school in your neighborhood?
Well,
he's getting nervous now. Because he knows where this is going because it's so obvious by the question. Yeah, it's a school. It's a school within the district that you lived with your parents in, and it may be a great school, but there may be a better school in another part of town. But you're restricted on what school you can be registered in. If I jump the border from Florida into Georgia, and I enrolled in college, did you go to college?
I did.
Okay, so you know about this. Okay, so if I jump the border from Florida into Georgia and registered for college today, what would be the difference in the tuition I would pay in Florida as opposed to in Georgia?
Yeah, you pay out-of-state tuition.
Yes, you'd pay out-of-state tuition, which is 3 times per credit hour the cost of in-state tuition is in the state university system. So, we have all kinds of restrictions on Americans where you can go to school, what you pay. There's all kinds of border restrictions in this country that we live our life by. So this so this is what. All right. So okay. Well, I don't care where you're going. I'm going where I'm going. So with this birthright citizenship, okay, all the migrants are criminals, fugitives from justice. They're illegal aliens. So you're a fugitive. I find that you agree. If you are a fugitive from justice and you have a baby, that baby is the citizen of whatever country you're in. This is crazy talk. So
What I'm saying.
No, I'm not. I'm just making some points. No, I didn't. No, I'm not. I got to run for a break. Yes, hello. We'll be right back.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and Huron Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the All Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
It's a beautiful Tuesday morning with a high of 74 degrees and will be mostly sunny all day. A low of 60 tonight and partly cloudy. Tomorrow will be partly sunny with a high of 74 degrees. And Wednesday night it will be partly cloudy with a low of 63 degrees.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Watch for construction Gateway Boulevard at Military Trail, Hypoluxo Road at Jog Road, Lake Ida Road at Hagen Ranch Road. Spot something on the roads? Call the traffic tip line, pound 250, keyword West Palm Traffic. I'm Ron Hersey.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. This Sunday, February 2nd, PBKC features South Florida's premier sports card and memorabilia show with amazing vendors and a wide variety of all your favorite collectibles. Admission and parking are always free, and don't miss a single play on our sports TVs. PBKC is also your best bet for poker, table games, super OTB action, paddock shows, and exceptional eats. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive?
If you're on hold, hang in there.
Friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as
Welcome. If you're new, make sure you
$70
subscribe, guys. I'm just queuing up what I'm going to get into after the break.
Or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Alrighty, we're back. I'm Brian, it's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. So anyway, the point I was making with that call was up against the break. There are all kinds of border restrictions that U.S. citizens have to obey. Right? Yeah, that's just the way it is. You know, I got the cruise coming up with you nice people that are going. 2 months. We're going March 30th. First week in April, we're going to be on our great cruise. I have to have my passport. In fact, before the next time we have a cruise, I got to renew my passport. It'll expire after this cruise. I checked. I was like, oh man, you could do a speedy thing. Why do I need a passport to go somewhere? There's all kinds of restrictions, okay? And they've convinced us of all kinds of things that weren't true. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. I want to get into some other things too. There is just a nasty woman on CNN. Her name is Catherine Rampell. She's very snooty, very arrogant, you know, knows everything, been everywhere. But she's going up against Scott Jennings, who's very good on CNN. And she's obsessed over this hand gesture that Elon Musk made, and they're trying to make it a Nazi salute. And all of a sudden, the left are concerned about anti-Semitism. Here they are supporting killers of Jews worldwide, right? The left, as a party, the Democrats are anti-Semitic. They hate Jews. They support the Muslim terrorists that are kidnapping and raping and murdering women at music concerts, okay? But now all of a sudden they're the defender of the Jews because they want Elon Musk out. And they want Elon Musk out because he's cutting off the government waste. But I want to play a little bit of this, then we'll go to the phones. This is an exchange with this Catherine Rampell, very nasty woman, nasty. And then you'll hear Scott Jennings come in. Hold on, cue it up. All right, here we go.
That Elon Musk decides to declare that globalist Jews are responsible for the great replacement of brown people into the United States. Maybe it was a misunderstanding.
Oh, okay. You know, this is bizarre. You know, anti-Semitism is so god-awful, scary, and ugly. Anti-Semitism is what we had in Europe during the Civil War. Okay? So now what they're doing is something that somebody tried to do this with me on a call the other day. This idiot. Okay, well, Elon Musk didn't do a Nazi salute, but what if he called for this, like this moron is saying here on CNN? Then would he be an anti-Semite? I mean, it's so bizarre living in this world of let's make up some stories. Well, if he did this, would he be anti-Semitic?
You know, the second time he said that Jews are pushing hatred against white people, that's a quote. You know.
Really, I missed that quote. When did he say Jews are pushing anything towards anyone other than maybe peace in the Middle East and Israel? You know, I had somebody on the air try to pull this crap with me once. There was someone who will remain nameless. I probably shouldn't even tell the story because they're a poison person. And then, you ever see that episode of The Twilight Zone where the mannequins come to life, right? A lot of these people, they're like mannequins until you reference them and then they come to life, you know. But there was somebody who was on the air. We were having a spat, as we often did. And they said during the break, if you don't lay off, I want to tell people how you feel about Jews. I said, I don't dislike Jews. I just dislike you. Okay? It has nothing to do that you're a Jew. I just don't like you. So, people don't dislike you because you're a Jew. They dislike you because you're an AH, I told him. It was off the air, And that's what she's doing. So he criticized someone. They may be Jewish. So he's saying Jews are doing this. These people are, these New York University CNN types.
That was a little iffy by the second seed Kyle. I think he kind of loses the benefit of the doubt to be not accused of playing footsie with these Nazis. I'm not saying he's a Nazi. I'm saying the Nazis think he's a Nazi, which they very clearly did at this event. And these words were not said in a vacuum. As you pointed out, the leaders of AFD have embraced, in many cases, the Nazi heritage. They have wanted to take down the Holocaust Memorial in Berlin.
Oh, see, now all of a sudden Elon Musk wants to take down the Holocaust Memorial. And he's embracing Nazis. These people are living... This is why people don't watch CNN. They should fire her, not Acosta.
Appropriate to recognize this horrific chapter in German history. And I just think it's horrific. I don't understand why this guy keeps getting the benefit of the doubt. Whether or not he believes this stuff personally.
You didn't even mention the Nazi jokes he was making on Twitter.
Yeah.
That actually got...
He's been given so many chances. Yeah.
I was hearing a lot of sighing, Scott.
Okay, now Scott Jennings, who's good on CNN, he makes CNN a little worth watching. He's going to come back at her, and then she pulls a stunt with him. Listen.
Yeah, I mean, we've moved on from Trump derangement syndrome to Elon derangement syndrome.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to defend his saying the Germans get to
I love this game we play where you talk for 2 minutes, I talk for 3 seconds, and you freak out. So he has a long record of supporting the Jewish people, number one. Number two, anybody who is asserting this thing he did on the stage the other day was a Sig Heil, which I just heard you say, lawyer up maybe, because absolutely ridiculous thing to say. Under no circumstances.
The Nazis in Germany thought it was a Sig Heil.
Under no circumstances was he doing anything other than expressing enthusiastically.
Why don't you do it on TV right now?
His appreciation.
Why don't you do it on TV right now if you think it's so...
Number three.
Banal.
Number three. I think it is fully appropriate, and I, of course, have been the strongest supporter of the Jewish people on this network for over a year, since October the 7th.
Is that true?
To remember the Holocaust and to remember the atrocities committed against the Jewish people. And I also think it's appropriate to remember the atrocities committed against them right now. And it seems to me, let me just finish my point.
No,
it seems to me,
I won't let you change the subject.
It seems to me, I'm trying to finish my point.
As the Jew at this table,
I'm trying to finish my point.
I would say
the people who are most concerned about...
What does that mean? Right, she could because she's a Jew, she could just call people anti-Semitic?
All over Elon Musk today have had nary a word for the Nazis on college campuses who've gone crazy for the last year and a half.
Okay, so this is really a big turning point in this country, because one of the things that President Trump, because he signed an order for this, will have Pam Bondi do when is this confirmation with Pam Bondi? What's holding it up? But these anti-Semitic, terrorist-supporting college students and professors that are on visas are going to be deported. They're going to be deported. And they should be deported. It's hate speech. They have really done, and I talked about when this stuff happened with Candace Owens a few months ago, how much anti-Semitism is commonplace even among young conservatives who don't know any better. And there's a lot of moral equivalency between U.S. twisted support of Ukraine and our honest support and just support of Israel. We don't give weapons to Israel. Israel buys weapons from us. We give everything to Ukraine. It's a big difference there. They buy the weapons, Israel, from us. And I hear a lot of young conservatives like Candace Owens and many other big names who put this moral equivalency between Ukraine and Israel. It's not the same thing at all. What they're trying to do is wipe out the gene pool of Jews in Israel. It's a big difference. They're trying to commit genocide, is what they're trying to do, which is what the Nazis were trying to do. Okay? And these liberal idiots like this big mouth woman, her poor husband, oh my goodness, he must not talk very much. because he probably can't get a word in. But these big mouth liberals like her are supporting these monsters that are on a mission to commit genocide against the Jews. And it's pretty disgusting. They should be ashamed of themselves. And for her to call, someone who's a Jew like she is, to call this thing that Elon Musk did, moving his arms around all the time, okay, to call him an anti-Semite so trivializes what true anti-Semitism is. It really, truly does. And, she's a New York liberal, the New York University, Columbia University crowd, her and her husband. And that's what happens. We have these Muslim professors, we have these Muslim students, and what they do is they turn even Jews into anti-Semites. And this woman is too stupid as a liberal to even understand what she is. Now, if you're on hold, hang in there. We're going to take our first break of the second hour, and we'll get back to your calls after the break at 1-888-465-2631. Now, I was telling you guys yesterday, when I went to visit my daughter, when she moved to California, we shipped her car out to her on a truck, which is that's a really sketch industry. I got to tell you, when you're finding someone to ship a car across the country, there's a lot of people that do it, but it's so sketch. I mean, I was afraid the car would end up in a chop yard somewhere, but it made it. But before I sent her out there, before I sent the car out there, I took it over to Friendly Tire and had 4 new Firestone tires put on, because great prices. She didn't even need new tires, but I knew eventually she would. She was about halfway through those tires, so I took her to Friendly Tire and got her some Firestone tires, and she's been over there driving all over the place. She's gone through the deserts, the Pacific Coast Highway, all over LA, and so I was planning on buying her 4 new tires when I got out there, and I wasn't looking forward to it because there's no Friendly Tire in Los Angeles, and at the way gas prices are, I can only imagine what it costs to buy new tires in California. They probably have some environmental fee for the disposal of the tires that, it's like makes you, it's got to be crazy. And I looked at her tires over 2 years of driving on the roads of California through all that different weather and all those different roads, driving I don't know how many thousands of miles. The tires look brand new. They're in spectacular condition. She doesn't need new tires. And I told her, I said I was planning on taking her to buy new tires when we're out here, and like brand new. It's amazing. So Friendly Tire, the tires are great. I mean, it really is. Give him a call, and Friendly Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. He has new tires out the door and on the road for as low as $70 a tire. That's for new tires. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. That's 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, it's Scott Shannon, one of the DJs here at the True Oldies channel. Hope you're enjoying the Kane Show with Brian. And I want to remind you that at 10 this morning, the oldies are back. The greatest hits of the 60s and 70s right here on the True Oldies channel.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
We will be back shortly. Did you guys watch my vlog from California I put up yesterday? I hope you did. If you have not, go and watch it.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. I am pleased to say our relationship with the Steve Kane Show and the show's listeners keeps getting stronger and stronger. The Steve Kane Show listeners are truly the best customers we have ever had. They are courteous, intelligent, honest, and quite a joy to work with. We have completed thousands of projects for the listeners, from repairs, single-family homes, large HOA complexes, and churches, with great success, and every one of those customers are like family. We have installed all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingles, clay, and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile.
We'll be back right after this.
Systems. So come on and let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or find us on the web at laportacontracting.com. The number again is 954-604-4602.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Oldies.
All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. There's one or two things I want to get to before we go back to the calls. If you'd like to call in, our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I want to talk about Tom Homan. Tom Homan's amazing. Yesterday I played that clip of him with Dr. Phil, which I am going to play again in a moment because it's so good, but I want to make a point about it. This is Tom Homan last night on CNN about the deportations.
What we had heard from immigration advocates is that this is going to provide a chilling.
Immigration advocates. What are they? How are you? President Trump is married to an immigrant, legal immigrant. Would they? An immigration activist or advocate is somebody who is a illegal immigration advocate or activist.
What we had heard from immigration advocates is that this is going to provide a chilling effect to parents in the school drop-off line or something of that matter.
It shouldn't be a chilling effect unless their child's a terrorist or a public safety threat. If they are a public safety threat and national security threat, they should be chilled. They should be afraid because we're looking for them.
Well, if their parent is here and they're an undocumented immigrant, I think was more of the argument that they were making.
They're not off the table either. I mean, they're in the country illegally, they got a problem. I mean, it's not okay. Look, it's not okay to enter this country illegally. It's a crime, and that's the way it's supposed to be. I wouldn't feel comfortable if I'm in Switzerland illegally. So we're going to enforce laws in this country. So, you know, the schools and the churches and central location was a policy only for ICE, only for immigration, right? But national security threats and public safety threats have no safe haven in this country, and we'll go where we got to go.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be holed up at a church or a school. Oh, I'm a criminal, but I just robbed a bank. But I'm in a church. You can't pick me up. Church service here. I have sanctuary. If you're on hold, hang in there. So this is the one I played yesterday. I want to share this again because I want to make a point about it. Dr. Phil embedded with Tom Homan in Chicago, arresting an illegal pedo.
What's your name?
Seda. Seda what? You have a first last name. Sam. Seda Sam? Yes.
Where are you from?
Where I was born or where I'm from?
Where are you born?
Thailand.
You been deported before from the United States?
No.
Never been deported?
I've been in the system before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been charged with
Charged with?
before?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not touched by lawyer.
Yeah. Are you a citizen?
My mom's a citizen.
Your mother's a citizen?
Yes.
But you're not?
Nope.
But you've never been deported before?
You Dr. Phil. You look like Dr. Phil.
Yeah? How do you know me?
No, I seen Dr. Phil, you know, on TV.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is an example of sanctuary cities, right? We got an illegal alien convicted of sex crimes involving children, and he's walking the streets of Chicago. Again, the downfall, the problem with the sanctuary city, that people like us walk in the street rather than local law enforcement working with federal agents. This is what we're dealing with. Yeah. You've been charged with sex crimes with children?
Not really.
Not really? and never been deported.
Well,
huh. Let's take them in, process them, lock them up.
Got it, sir.
Okay. Now, the thing at the end, this is why I play this. Tom Homan, he's talking to these ICE agents. And by the way, all the federal law enforcement agencies are working on this deportation. FBI, AT, all of them. Homeland. He said, take him away to lock him up. And the guy said, yes, sir. This is something you got to understand about Tom Homan. Okay? This is really an amazing thing that's going on here. We've had border czars and drug czars. What have any of them done? They were all like Kamala. They went around and looked at things and talked. Border czar is not a real position in the government. There's no border czar position. Tom Homan holds no official office. He also has no agency under his command. He's not in charge of ICE, the Border Patrol, the ATF, the feds, no one. There's a Secretary of Homeland Security that's in charge of that, but Tom Homan has no position. A border czar is an advisor to the president. They're almost like the neighborhood watch before Tom. They look, they see something, they observe it, and then they report. So a border czar has no job position, no official position in the government, no chain of command, nothing, not a badge either. Now he has an ID card, I guess. All he has is a cell phone with a direct line to President Trump. And these deportations have been going on under his command, which he has no command. And not one person, not one of these federal officers has refused to do what they're told to do by Tom Homan. And I imagine out of everyone in the country, even maybe more so than the Trump children, I bet you Tom Homan can get Donald Trump on the phone right now, even though he's the sitting president, faster than anyone else on the planet. Because President Trump and him know what I just told you. And one of these ICE agents or FBI agent or whatever agent they have could say, you're not in the chain of command. I don't work for you. I work for Homeland Security. I work for the director of whatever agency they're with. You heard that? Yes, sir. That is the mandate that President Trump has. That's how popular President Trump is. The power that President Trump has right now in this country is more power than any president has had during any of our lifetimes. And Tom Homan running around I love it. Tom Homan, as I told you guys yesterday, Tom Homan was born for this. This is what he was born to do, is what he's doing right now. And for him to walk around with no directorship, secretaryship, no badge, I don't even know if he's armed. I don't know. And for him to go around and have this kind of authority with all that he has is a cell phone on speed dial to President Trump directly, and boom. He's taken. And this is why President Trump gave him this job and not the Secretary of Homeland Security. Because because it's not a real position. He's just an advisor, officially, technically, like a drug czar would be. There's no Senate confirmation hearing. So he doesn't have to go through the confirmation process. We don't have time for that. He's just doing it. And I think that's pretty amazing and cool at the same time, don't you? I don't know how many people have thought about that. Maybe you all have, but I don't think so. I don't think people really have realized for him to go around commanding all of these federal agents in these different agencies, and every federal law enforcement where there's guns and badges are doing this, is really amazing to me. And he's going to have a story to tell when this is all over. And I can't wait to hear all of it. All right, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. If you're on hold, hang in there. I will go to the phones after the break. All right, I know some of you have been on hold for a while. I will go to the calls after the break. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening, all right? And don't forget the huge mega sale going on right now at mypillow.com with just incredibly low prices. The MyPillow towels right now, just $29.98. I'm going to order 3 sets for my daughter today and send them to her. And not only are there huge savings with our promo code Kane site-wide, but free shipping on all orders over $75. And remember, every time you use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, at mypillow.com, you're letting Mike Lindell know that you support the program, okay? And that's very important. So promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout at mypillow.com. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. Back with your calls after this.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Yeah, it was high.
And thousands of patients, from bursitis, tendinitis, sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, tears, post-surgery, pre-surgery, herniated disc, gout, bone on bone. If you can name the pain, most likely I treated it over the years. Most of my practice is laser with robotic lasers. They're robots which rotates constantly around the area, where most lasers do not do that. So if you want to come in for a free consultation, as always here, welcome at Appleton Chiropractic. I'm here 6 days a week. I personally do all the treatment. You can bring your MRIs, you can bring your x-rays, you can bring your CAT scans, whatever you have to bring for me to look at, I would do that free of charge.
Call Dr. Appleton right now for that free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonChiro.com. The fake news tried to tear down Mike Lindell and my pillow, but Mike Lindell stood strong, just like President Trump. This is Brian Craig. It's time to celebrate President Trump's historic victory with My Pillow's Price Buster deals. Save with our promo code Kane at checkout. I sleep on a My Pillow mattress every night, and you can choose from top-rated mattresses, including the revolutionary My Pillow foam mattress with 5 comfort layers for the best sleep ever, and the 2-sided encased quilted mattress. It's built for unbeatable comfort and delivered right to your door. The My Pillow mattresses come with a 10-year warranty, a 6-month money-back guarantee, and they're made right here in the United States. There's never been a better time to upgrade your sleep. Go to mypillow.com and use the promo code time to get my blood work done. I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big labs. That's why I go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call Any Lab Test Now of Boca at 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 48 years on the air.
All right, we're back. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Moonbrook.
Hey, Jeff.
You know what Trump and Tom's doing? All they're doing is enforcing an immigration law. That's all they're doing.
Yes.
Plain and simple. And there's no such thing as a sanctuary city. Any government official that tries to stop that is committing federal crimes and need to be held fully accountable. That means if they harbor someone that knows is a criminal and here illegally, they can be immediately deported if they don't turn them over and contact.
Well, think about this. What if the city of Chicago said, people have been struggling economically in this country because of the inflation, Biden's inflation. So if you've robbed a bank, Chicago is a sanctuary city for bank robbers because we know you needed the money. Okay? So they're a sanctuary city for bank robbers. Chicago has who knows how many bank robbers there. It's a sanctuary city for bank robbers, though. And the feds come in and start arresting all the bank robbers. Would anyone say, oh, well, wait a minute, this is a sanctuary city. How dare you? You can't provide sanctuary in your town from federal crimes. And being here illegally is a federal crime.
Exactly. And when I want to see Trump have these sanctuary cities, and they're all only Democrat-controlled, start arresting those people when they do it.
I hope so. I hope that governor in Illinois is on the list.
And the first thing that'll happen is the other sanctuary cities will say, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to go to prison.
Yeah, exactly. With this Colombian deportations, I was watching one of the local news stations in Miami. I can't remember which one it was, but it was one of the Miami local news stations. And they went to a Colombian restaurant, and the people that run the restaurant were like, good, they're here illegally. We're legal. They should be deported. They're illegal. They were that, and I think they were shocked that, I don't support Americans committing crimes in other countries.
If you're an American and you commit a crime in another country, you're thrown in a really cold, dark cell and given bread and water.
That's correct. Yeah.
And on The View yesterday, real quick, some lady, I'd never seen her before, she wasn't bad looking, dark hair, said she was promoting illegal voter fraud.
Yeah, well, she used those words?
She was telling illegals that they vote.
Well, then she should be arrested. That's a crime. She is, yeah.
You know what we need in America is justice returned to America. And I believe this happened right now.
Yeah.
You know, it was almost 1,000 a day illegals being arrested.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now no one's coming.
No, yeah. They don't want to come here now, and that's the kind of people we want running our country. America first, protect America.
Yeah, but who's gonna pick the strawberries?
That's a separate issue. If we can't get enough, if we have legal immigrants, we have plenty of those to take those jobs.
All right, Jeff, I appreciate the call. Yeah, it's ridiculous what they're advocating. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, my friend.
Oh, hey, Richie.
You know, we're going to talk about small potatoes right now. Pritzker, the mayor of Chicago. You know, I just hear Jeff calling you and telling you that, you know, about small potatoes. I'm going to give you the biggest potato of all, your particular religion, and I'm going to attack them.
Christianity? Christianity?
The Catholic, no, Catholics. The Catholic charities, that when you go on Sunday to your Mass, or you don't go, but when you go to your Sunday on your Mass, and you drop money in, and you give your 10%, and then the tax money that the government, our federal government is giving them money all the time. I mean, they're loaded with our money, and they're putting out all this propaganda, keep protecting these illegal people. It's really disgraceful. They've actually given them instructions that if ICE comes to your place of business, they can't go.
So you mean this is an interesting thing. So because we have some criminals in the Catholic Church, that means all of us Catholics are criminals?
All your religion, your basic religion, the people follow.
My religion is Christianity.
You know, your religion is Catholic because you were actually a Christian before.
Catholics are Christians. We're Christians.
You converted to a religion that's put.
I did not convert to a religion. I was a Christian before.
But you converted. You went out of your way to become a Catholic.
Yes.
It isn't.
I did.
And you don't say nothing about the bishops and all.
I talked about it yesterday, actually, and. Do you know who the most high-ranking government official who's Catholic is today?
Yeah, J.D. Vance.
J.D. Vance. And J.D. Vance. I talked about this yesterday. J.D. Vance, and that's yes, he did. He became He became a Catholic in 2017 or 19. Yeah, he became so he did what I did. Excuse me, J.D. Vance did what I did. He became a Catholic.
Well, why did you do it for? Tell me why.
I was not Baptist.
You were Methodist?
I was Methodist.
What? Whatever you were, my friend. Whatever you were.
I had my reasons. But I'm not. But here's the thing. J.D. Vance became a Catholic in the 2000s, between 17 and 19. I can't remember what year, okay? So he converted like I did. And he called out something which is true, that the Catholic bishops, who are very liberal, okay, are making boatloads of money on the illegals through the tithing in their churches, which will be empty. And they'll probably be empty on all the masses now because they're afraid of getting deported. So they and many Catholics support abortion. The Pope is a big climate change guy.
We're not giving them.
Well, they're not. I don't know about tax money. They're they're tax exempt.
Well, yeah, they don't have to pay a damn bit of taxes. That should be ended immediately. What they're doing is disgraceful. And I'll tell you the truth.
But hold on. Benny Hinn with all that fake faith healing, or who's that lunatic, fake creep at the church in Texas, the one whose wife got into a fight with a flight attendant years ago. Okay, yeah. There's a lot of bad Christians out there. It doesn't mean that Christianity is bad.
Church, I'm talking about your complete.
The leader. Excuse me. No, the leader of the church is Jesus.
Pope comes in second, okay, and he's more.
Well, listen. The Catholic charities, the Catholic bishops are corrupt. Correct. Doesn't mean that the church is corrupt. I don't know if he's corrupt. He's very liberal.
And he's corrupt. You don't see he's
I don't know. I mean, is your wife's from Venezuela? Is she Catholic?
She's born Catholic. I don't know what she is now. She isn't going to.
You just want to make sure she doesn't tithe any of your money. All right, appreciate the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. I just want to let you know that I love you, and I certainly don't blame you for the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
And you're a wonderful father. You're a wonderful father. I
thank you.
Talk about the things you do for your daughter. You're a great father.
Yes, yes. I hear a but coming.
Right.
Usually when there's so many compliments, there's a but.
No, but I mean, you just got ripped up for something. You're Catholic, and I'm not Catholic. I'm Baptist, but I did spend a period of 2 years with the Sisters of the Good Shepherd, and they're some of the best people ever. More compassionate.
Listen, anytime there's a lot of money and there's corruption in everything. It doesn't mean that Christianity is corrupt, but I suspect Richie just doesn't want his wife tithing any of his money, so he's got to take a strong stand against the Catholics.
Oh, well, tithing goes with every part of it. I mean, tithing, that's biblical. It has nothing to do with whether you're Catholic, Baptist, Methodist, or...
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I just wanted to let you know I'm excited about Tom Holman, because that's what you were talking about when I turned it on this morning.
No.
And I just happened to turn on YouTube, because I have you on YouTube, too. And underneath there's this, on Maryland. There's a huge raid in Maryland, and that's where I am. And I'm watching this, and they're taking them out. I'm telling you, I'm excited about it. And also out in Colorado, ICE is doing their job. You gave such, you talked about Tom Holman. Tom Holman, you're right when you say he was made for this job. He's so low-key. I love the way he handles the media. He's just to the point, doesn't elaborate, gives them the straight facts, and it is what it is. And the illegals are leaving here. And I love that they're putting that wall up. They're starting to build. President Trump is an amazing man. It's just amazing.
Yeah, but who's going to clean? But who's going to clean the toilets of all these Hollywood celebrities like Selena Gomez?
She got, boy, did I rip her a new one yesterday. She's disgusting, crying over, I bet she can't even tell you the name of one of these women that have been raped, killed, and murdered and thrown around. She couldn't tell you one name, but she's on television crying. That's why she's a washed-up has-been. All these washed-up has-been actors that are irrelevant. I'm just so sick of them. But what's happening here has got to happen. It just has to happen. We cannot have all of these people in this country who should not be here. Now, I know some illegals, I do. And, because especially those who've been here for years that are solid and are now working through immigration, and they file taxes and all that sort of to become legal if they can, if that's possible.
Well, listen, I gotta run for the break, but I appreciate the call. Good call from Maryland. Okay, if you're on hold, hang in there. We'll take our last break of the second hour and be back.
Hard Truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hey, my true oldies listeners, John Tesh here with some intelligence for your retirement this time. When you're looking for a retirement advisor, you don't trust and experience are two big qualities to look for. And as it turns out, my friend Jupiter Joe Thomas possesses both of these. Whether you're in retirement or looking to retire, I want you to give local expert Joe Thomas a call. Here's the number, 561-743-0999, or even simpler,
Mike,
you can go to jupiterjoe.com. Mention my name, John Tesh. You'll receive a free copy of Joe's book, Retirement Know-It-All. Great book. Call 561-743-0999, or remember, go to jupiterjoe.com. That's jupiterjoe.com.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Donna from Jupiter. I'm calling to share my great experience with Jupiter Joe. My husband and I started listening to you a few years ago, and that's when we learned about Jupiter Joe Thomas. We're seniors with no pension and collect Social Security. All our investments were in stocks and IRAs until we heard about Jupiter Joe. Speaking of having your money work for you. So we got in touch with him, and he went above and beyond trying to locate all our diversifications. He answered all our questions clearly and returned every phone call. He recommended an annuity that enabled us to get a safe monthly income for life. So I just want to tell everyone, if you're in need of additional income, especially with the high cost of everything these days, please call Joe Thomas. husband and I can't say enough good things about Jupiter Joe and his staff.
I want to thank you for your kind words for Jupiter Joe Thomas. If you want to call Joe Thomas, I'm going to give you his number. It's a no-charge consultation, which you can take advantage of no matter where you're located. 561-743-0999, 561-743-0999, and online at Jupiter Joe.
Welcome, Patricia, new listener.
You want to live longer and feel better, and you can with a personalized wellness roadmap to guide this next chapter of your life. You owe it to yourself. Amrit Ocean Resort is now open on Singer Island, a next-generation luxury wellness resort merging Eastern principles and Western luxury. Integrated health offerings include targeted health assessments in personal wellness, nutrition, bio-well energy flow, and metabolic fitness. Take a few days to let the experts at Amrit guide you. With services including pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, hyperbaric oxygen therapy, red light therapy, and dry flotation meditation. Fine dining is available at the oceanfront restaurant Tula, unlike anything else in Palm Beach County. Experience their 4-story wellness spa with
What's that?
treatments designed to detox and relax. Explore all available offers at
Oh, great. Awesome.
ocean.com.
Okay, appreciate it.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie, Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast.
All right, we are back. Callers on hold, stand by. It's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Hey, Brian. Good morning.
Great, great. So what do you have for us today?
You have a spouse or a parent who is receiving care, and you're concerned about the surviving spouse, your husband, your wife, your parent, running out of money because of the cost of this long-term care, and you're spending your own money down. You need to talk to us because we can help. We can help you stop that financial bleeding by qualifying for government benefits, those benefits that you think that you have too much income or too much assets to qualify for. Please don't jump to that conclusion, because that conclusion that you're jumping to could be the biggest financial mistake you make in your life. If you can have government benefits offset some or most of those costs and not have to spend down your assets, then you don't have to worry about running out of money before you run out of life. And that's what we can help you with at the Siegel Law. So you don't have to run out of money before you run out.
Absolutely. And don't spend down all of your money and then leave your surviving spouse broke and maybe even homeless. Let me ask you a quick question, Barry. I'm curious. This time of year, we get all the snowbirds in Florida. Do you get a lot of people come in that are snowbirds who live down here part of the year that you can help out?
Well, sure. I mean, we can help. Some snowbirds are Florida residents, but they go up for the summer. And some are not. Anybody who's a Florida resident, we can help them be planning, Medicaid eligibility down.
Yeah.
If they're residents of another state, then they should be doing that.
So you hear that, guys? So if you're one of these snowbirds and you live down here during the winter months, give the Siegel Law Group a call. And by the way, the Siegel Law Group can help you no matter where you are located in the state of Florida. And it's always a no-charge consultation if you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the Steve Kane Show. 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. You can also find his phone number on his website, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk later in the week. All right, take care. All right, we are back, and let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Line right now?
Yes, you're on the line right now.
Hi, Brian. How you doing? Good.
Hey.
First of all, I wanted just to say something off the subject. I wanted to congratulate you because for 4 years I've been listening to you. And you are so consistent in what you're saying and what you're doing. Anyway.
Thank you.
My best wishes for you for this year.
Thank you.
And I'm Spanish. I'm from Uruguay. I've been in this country for 45 years.
Oh my goodness. Almost as long as me, but you still have that accent.
Yeah, I still have that accent because I'm working with Spanish people.
Oh.
Anyway, I just wanted to say that because, I'm a little nervous to talk to you.
Oh, that's okay.
But my best wishes for you. In fact, I thought after Donald Trump became a president, I thought if I could talk to Donald Trump, I would say, listen, I have a person that can be your, the secretary.
Oh, the press secretary?
Yeah, they want to speak to the media.
Yeah.
And I say, this is the man that you need because
yes,
everything, and they cannot come up with a question because he's going to give the right answer.
Yeah, that would be good. That'd be good. You may not remember, but if you guys go back, George W. Bush had for a short period of time, he brought a guy who was very good. He passed away from cancer, unfortunately, but he used to be on Fox, and he became the White House press spokesperson, and his name was Tony Snow. And he handled that press like no one else. He was so good. They would ask him one of these ridiculous questions, and he would say to them, now, that's not true. What you just said. Why would you ask me something that's not true? But, it was very good. Well, listen, I appreciate the call. Uruguay, is that where, what's the...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, listen, good to hear from you. You did very good. So you're very well. So call again sometime, all right? You won't be so nervous second time.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. Chris from Papa.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, another home run. Great show, man.
Well, thank you.
Always so much to talk about. We can sit on the phone till noon.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm glad you still do, podcasts and other things to get information out there. A couple of you callers stole the thunder because obviously we had immigration laws on the books. They just chose not to enforce them, especially the Obama administration. Buying votes, that kind of a thing, and ID in certain places so that you can vote as many times as you want.
The main thing it's really about, there's two things that the illegal situation is all about. Number one, the Democrats, when Trump won. By the way, we've always had a problem with Mexico, all right? We fought a war with Mexico before the Civil War. We've always had problems with Mexico, okay? It's never not been a problem since our two countries have existed, okay? But the two main issues are not that. The two issues are this. When Trump won the first time, the Democrats said to themselves, the reason we're losing is there's too many white people. So they wanted to bring in not white people. They thought they could do. But the other thing is what I was talking about earlier. This is a slave group of people. They're low-paid slave workers. They put up in slave quarters, hotels and motels and Section 8 housing. But it's a slave workforce for them.
Yeah, identical. I'm so glad you broke that down briefly earlier. And even the comparison to the, pre-emancipation.
Same arguments.
100% right now, and they're enjoying the fruits. How many even politicians or leaders have got caught enjoying that slavery themselves in some trouble in the past? But you're right, and I got to tell you, it's up and down the bush. It's not the low-paying jobs. I'm out here in the community, and there's a lot of well-paid immigrants who have become legal, but they're harboring illegal aliens to do some of that slave labor
Mm-hmm.
as well. Even competing against some of our great businessmen like Pamela Roofing. You know, you don't have the manpower to go up there and take away all the illegal.
You know how difficult it is to be a law-abiding employer, a roofer, you have a lawn maintenance company, and you're competing against all these companies that are hiring illegals. It's very difficult. It's very difficult.
Joe, I mean, come on, it's out there. It's a big problem other than picking straw.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, appreciate the call. Good to hear from you. All right, take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Patty from New Jersey.
Hey, Patty.
Hey, so I just want to say that as far as all this labor, I live up by Pine Island, New York, and Pine Island has some of the best black dirt growing in the world. And they used to, back in the day, before the government came in and started paying the farmers not to farm the land there, they used to bring in migrant seasonal workers. So all these people who are belly aching over who's going to pick the strawberries, who's going to pick the grapes, you know, if the government would get their head straight, they would set up a program where people can apply to come here during those seasons where we need that stuff.
Yeah.
And allow them to come for that season.
Yes, exactly.
It's been done in the past.
Well, that's the reason why kids aren't in school during the summer. They used to work on the farms.
And, you know, it's just, you know, so I don't know why everybody's got to make such a big deal out of this. It really is not that hard. And if they would just go and rewrite the laws and put everything back to the way it used to be, where we would be. And they even did it where if you were a rich person and you needed a housekeeper, you could get somebody out of a pool of people who wanted to come for a certain amount of months to work, and they would come and be a housekeeper just for the experience of coming to America. So it can work, and I just don't know why people are making such a big deal out of it.
Because they're liberals and they're stupid.
Yep.
That's it. You know, they're like Selena Gomez.
Yeah, and the other thing is, as far as Vivek Ramaswamy, I really don't think that he got fired. I really think that Trump is 25 steps ahead of all of us, and he's trying to set all of these places up for the midterms.
Maybe. I think they pushed him out. They pushed him out because he started that whole MAGA Civil War thing, Vivek. And, he screwed up.
But it doesn't mean that he can't help the movement still.
No, he can, but I always have my eye on that guy. I don't 100% trust. All right, I gotta run for the top of the hour, but thanks for the call. Great call. Say if you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our break for the top of the hour. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Our number 1-888-465-2631. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
WSFS 104.3 HD3.
All right. Steve, are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
Boca Raton 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast. Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year
Beautiful day outside
serve
today.
your family all year long. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
There's a crash blocking the left lane of Belvedere Road eastbound approaching Military Trail. Earlier crash, Congress Avenue at Lillian Road. Spot something on the roads, call the traffic tip line, pound 250, keyword West Palm traffic. I'm Robert.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. This Sunday, February 2nd, PBKC features South Florida's premier sports card and memorabilia show with amazing vendors and a wide variety of all your favorite collectibles. Admission and parking are always free, and don't miss a single play on our sports TVs. PBKC is also your best bet for poker, table games, super OTB action, paddock shows, and exceptional eats. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Brian Craig here. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. With a AAA credit rating and bonded up to $10 million, Laporta Contracting doesn't need a large deposit like those other contractors do. Typical deposits other contractors want are 1/3 of the contract. If your job is $30,000, that's a $10,000 deposit. If your job is $300,000, that's $100,000. What are they doing with your money? Typically, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get a permit, and HOAs, much longer. If they need money for the materials, they don't have credit with the suppliers, and that spells bad news for the homeowner or HOA. Tom Laporta is honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and he'll never sell you a roof you don't need. Laporta Contracting has been in the roofing and contracting business since 1988, and his services cover the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. Tom Laporta can handle any type of roofing job too: residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now on his cell phone, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, and online, LaportaContracting.com.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. If you're on hold, stand by. Steve Kane joining. Hey, Steve. Okay, I'm doing all right. I had a couple things I wanted to get to. We got some calls, but do you have somewhere you want to go, or you? All right. Okay. The reason I'm going to play this is because of your professional acting background. Okay. Now, have you seen the video of Selena Gomez? Okay, I want to play it, and I got a couple things I want to say about it that I haven't heard anybody say on these TV shows. They just sit around and laugh. This is Selena Gomez, who, by the way, pretty good actress. She was on a kids show when my daughter was growing up. I used to watch it all the time, Wizards of Waverly Place, which was a pretty good kids show. And it was a family of wizards, not grand wizards. They were like magic, like Merlin. It was kind of a ripoff of Bewitched. But currently she's on a show with the great Steve Martin and the brilliant Martin Short. It's called Only Murderers in the Building, and it's not that good, but I love Steve Martin and Martin Short, so I've watched it. But anyway, this is Selena Gomez, who's a multimillionaires, and I understand has several multi-million-dollar mansions all over the place.
I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry. All my people are getting attacked. The children. I don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't.
Okay, so yeah, to get the drift. You guys have seen it all. So she's crying over the deportations. Her people, I guess her people, are her people that pedo from Thailand that Dr. Phil deported with Tom Homan? I don't know. But... But these things with undocumented. Now, the reason I bring this up, because I know you had some experience when you worked in professional theater. Now, this is just my guess.
When I taught at Rollins for a couple of years, I was an acting teacher.
Well, you were also in that Actors Equity and did stage shows and professional theater. And Selena Gomez, she's currently doing this show with Steve Martin and Martin Short, Only Murderers in the Building. And my guess is that if you went through everyone on the set, even the person who picks up the trash that Selena Gomez leaves on the floor, okay, everyone is a well-documented card-carrying union member. There are no undocumented people on the sets of TV shows.
You work if you do.
Yeah, exactly. And these Hollywood actors and actresses You know, if the illegals were coming after their jobs, they'd be plenty pissed. But they're not coming after their jobs because you got to have that union card. And I saw recently an interview with a nasty man who's a fine actor. He's a great actor because he seems like a great guy in the movies, but he's one of the biggest jerks I've ever known, Tom Hanks. And Tom Hanks, he is a monster. He is a monster of a man, okay? He's nasty. I've seen him on several interviews, and he's got the mind of Forrest Gump and the temperament of Rick Siderman, if you guys remember Rick Siderman. Just... He's a beaut. It is. But anyway, I heard him in an interview recently griping about something I hear actors gripe about all the time. And not Trump, by the way. Hollywood American actors are fuming that so many English actors are finding work in America. They're hiring English actors to do everything. And he was really griping, Tom Hanks. He says, what if I got together with John Hamm, from Mad Men? He says, what if John Hamm and I went to London and started taking all their jobs? Wouldn't they be pissed? Why are they taking all our jobs? Well, that's what's happening here with the illegals, but the illegals aren't going after their jobs, So they don't care. They're going after their slaves that mow their lawns and cook their food and clean their toilets. There's such hypocrisy from the left, and the only people that have been deported so far are hardcore felons, rapists, murderers, gang members, drug kingpins.
I watched the thing with Selena, and I didn't understand what she was crying about. I mean, obviously, she was mumbling about
the deportations.
I understand that.
These are her people.
But I don't understand what she was crying about.
These are her people, she says.
Well, thugs and murderers.
Those are
her friends and murderers.
Those are her people. I guess. I don't know. Those aren't my people.
She needs new friends.
I guess so. Oh my goodness. You gotta love. All right, let's take some calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes. You're on the air.
Dog from Jupiter.
Hey, Jupiter.
Hey, John, and I got nothing to add because exclusive. I just want you to know we do.
Here we go, Steve.
No.
Okay.
Bob, you, Pam Bondi might bump you, so.
Okay, so maybe I might be the fourth, maybe the third. Okay. Thank you.
Depends on Pam Bondi, but yeah, it's the third.
Oh, that's great. Hear that, Steve? The third. Oh my goodness. Oh. Yeah, you got anything else to say other than compliments to me? Steve's getting annoyed at the compliments, Jupiter.
Okay,
when I heard when I heard that liberal word, inclusive, I thought there'd be some gem of liberalism. I thought we might have a Democrat because inclusive is a liberal word. That's not a, you know what I mean? That's inclusive.
It's a liberal word. There's no question of that. I think we were talking yesterday about the state of talk radio, especially now after this election is over, and you took the attitude, which I think I disagree with. It's worthy talking about, but I don't think this is like any other election where the liberals sit back afterwards and heal, over a period of a couple of weeks, and everything goes back to normal. There's nothing normal about what's going on now. It's great. Don't get me wrong. It's not that it's abnormal in any bad sense, but I don't think I think a lot of people have been converted, and I think every day that goes by, I think more and more people are going to be coming in droves.
Well, I disagree with you a little bit on that, but we don't really disagree, but a little bit about what's happened. This is what I think. I think that the conservative movement has always been the majority, but there's been a false impression of the size of the left because they are overrepresented in the media. So they've been hyping up that they're a much larger movement, the left, than they are. I think the left are just a small handful, cult-size group. I don't think there's that many liberals in the country. I mean, you could go to some areas like, San Francisco and stuff, but New York City. But I mean,
You don't believe the culture is just undergone a major trauma? When I say traumatic, I don't mean in any negative sense, but a major upheaval?
Now, what Trump well, this is probably not the. This is not the. Okay, go ahead.
It's all about communication. And when he hired this staff that he has around him at the White House, notice how many of them work for Fox. He hired basically people who were in the communication business.
Mm-hmm.
And I was marveling at this yesterday as I was watching. And it's just so interesting. Not only is he doing, this whole period is like a play. Each day there is a new chapter, and each chapter is punctuated by a major event.
Yeah.
And they do like a television show where you're right there watching as all these things are occurring, and it's like you can't get enough reading a novel.
Well, I gotta disagree. You know what I think's happened here? What's happened to conservatives is very similar to what happened with gays and AIDS. Okay, when gays used to be pretty much in the closet, right? But when the AIDS thing happened, gays started coming out of the closet like crazy. Before they were, homosexuality was considered a perversion. Then with AIDS, they became a victim, and gays started coming out of the closet. What's happened here is our conservative ranks have always been this large, but people have been in the closet. And Trump has brought them out of the closet, is what I think.
I don't view Trump in the traditional sense that we use the word. I don't view him as a conservative. He's more than a conservative. Yes, there's a lot of his agenda and the things he's working on which you could tie to conservative principles, but he's much, much more than that. I mean, he captured it with the one phrase that really says what it's all about. He's the common sense candidate.
Yeah.
Nobody has ever run on basic common sense. Now, in addition to that, of course, common sense breaks down largely to liberal and conservative, because conservatives have common sense and have always had some mostly common sense, and liberals have always been bereft of common sense.
Yes.
But that's what's going on here. And people, I'm telling you,
Oh no, there's a change. Donald Trump. I've said this for a long time. Donald Trump is like a civil rights leader. He's become a leader of a movement like none of us have ever experienced. Yeah.
This will be the mill.
Mm-hmm.
Or the guy.
Did you see? You know, today we're going to have the first White House press conference with Catherine Leavitt, Trump's press spokesperson. I saw reported this morning. But yesterday, Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, had his first press conference on the steps of the Pentagon. And it was beautiful to watch. It was so good, and they asked all the tough questions. What about the gays? What about the trans? And he had all the right answers. I want to tell everyone about this incredible offer from Sloman's with the doorbell camera. I was mentioning yesterday, Steve, my daughter has this doorbell camera. I got it for her. It's on the front door of her house, okay, in Los Angeles. And, you know, you want to get the doorbell camera. The video quality, the sound, everything is so high quality from it. And you can get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Sloman's is also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You get an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts for the doors and windows, a lifetime warranty, a backup battery, plus you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Give them a call. It's an easy number to remember. 1-800-ALARM-ME. 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME. Get your free doorbell camera. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
So, do you know if you thought he was so adamant about Hegseth not making it in?
What's that?
What happened to Never Trump or Steve?
I haven't heard from him, I don't think, have we?
I don't think so. He's the one that kept saying, no, Hank said that.
Yeah.
I was right about Gates. I was right about Hank said.
Yeah.
I'm going to call back.
Yeah, you're right. He hasn't called. Yeah, I forgot about him.
Under the weather.
Yeah, I guess so, for 4 years.
I did until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Donna from Jupiter. I'm calling to share my great experience with Jupiter Joe. My husband and I started listening to you a few years ago, and that's when we learned about Jupiter Joe Thomas. We're seniors with no pension and collect Social Security. All our investments were in stocks and IRAs until we heard about Jupiter Joe. Speaking of having your money work for you. So we got in touch with him, and he went above and beyond trying to locate all our diversifications. He answered all our questions clearly and returned every phone call. He recommended an annuity that enabled us to get a safe monthly income for life. So I just want to tell everyone, if you're in need of additional income, especially with the high cost of everything these days.
America represents a lot of different things, and for me, Captain America.
To you, he is so professional, knowledgeable.
If you're on hold, hang in there. Hey, how's it going? Hang in there.
My husband and I can't say enough good things about Jupiter Joe and his staff.
I want to thank you for your kind words for Jupiter Joe Thomas. If you want to call Joe Thomas, I'm going to give you his number. It's a no-charge consultation, which you can take advantage of no matter where you're located. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And online at jupiterjoe.com.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM. The Treasure. 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world.
All right, call us on hold. Stand by. I'm Brian. Steve, you back with us? Okay, now you're probably not a fan of Captain America. Maybe you are. I don't know. That doesn't seem to be your kind of thing. When you live in Florida, you never know who you got listening in the audience. And I met him once or twice. We had a listener. If he's still around, he's still a listener, who created Captain America with Stan Lee. And I've always been a fan of Captain America. I like Captain America. But, they got a new Captain America. Captain America's black now. Yeah, he's black. He's black. He's now black. I'm not against black superheroes, but, create your own. Don't take our, you know what I mean? But the actor who plays the new Captain America, he gave an interview about Captain America, this new movie that is going to bomb if it hasn't already. And you know who the new Hulk is? Harrison Ford is the new Incredible Hulk. Yes. This tired old fossil that's old as the hills who's, he must have... Well, I think Harrison Ford has burned through all his money because he's doing a lot of garbage. I think he was probably paid to endorse Kamala for some of these. But anyway, the new... Black Captain America was promoting his movie and was talking about what Captain America means, which is a little different than I thought. Listen, this is Black Captain America talking about what Captain America means.
Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations. Oh my God!
His name is Captain America, but he shouldn't be represented by. Oh my! Can you believe what a jerk?
Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations. Like, it's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Someone who is trustworthy and dependable.
And an American can't be that. I mean, what a jerk. I mean, he's promoting this movie. Yeah, exactly. Superman shouldn't be about being super.
Well, yeah.
What, actors?
Yeah.
I guess.
The whole Hollywood machine is broken down.
Because of this.
Have you looked at the Academy Award nominations?
Well, to be nominated, you have to have somebody that's in every one of the check boxes to get nominated.
It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic.
I know. You've got to get nominated for an Oscar. Your film must have a transgender character in it. Well, what if I'm doing a period piece? How do you do that? You know?
You don't think they had transgenders?
Oh, okay. So if I'm doing a Western, if I'm doing a Western with gunfighters, I'm sure there were gays, and I don't know about the trans, but I have to have an openly transgender gunslinger. How do you do that and be credible?
I'm telling you, it's over. The party's over.
Yes.
Come back in the next month or two. This stuff is. These people are just out of material.
Yes.
They're frustrated and they can't.
Basically, this is interesting. So basically, what you're saying is Hollywood is like the Joyce Kaufman show, out of material. Okay, I get that. Okay, all right. I know. I'm not picking. Steve Harley, who even knows who she is anymore in the audience? How can you pick on somebody that's unknown? I know. Well, yeah, it shouldn't be inside. Well, she shouldn't have screwed me over 25 years ago, and I wouldn't be making these jokes. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Yes.
Frank from Boca.
You sure? You sure? You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Trump wants to annex Canada and make them the 51st state. But the problem is Canadians are all left-wing. The so-called Conservative Party are like Obama and Bernie Sanders, and the Liberal Party's all communist.
No, Frank, hold on a second. Trump does not want to make Canada a state. First off, they would get 2 senators. That'd mess up everything. And they'd have a whole bunch of House members, too. What he's doing is he wants to cut off that $250 billion a year we're giving them, and he's making the case that we're supporting them more so than even our own states.
Mm-hmm. By the way, yeah, that's what I was going to say. We lose our majority in the Senate. But as we speak, the Canadian government is quickly expediting legislation making free speech a major felony offense, punishable by life in prison. Any speech or communication the Canadian government does not like will put you in the equivalent of a...
Are you from Canada originally?
No.
Okay, so that's with Canada. Well, but I'll tell you, in Canada, they've never had free speech there. Okay, remember that documentary you used to talk about, Steve, with the guy that was a Holocaust denier?
It's the guy that invented the electric chair.
Didn't invent it, but there was a documentary. He didn't invent it. There was a documentary made on the guy that made the electric chairs and gas chambers for the different states to execute people in. And he was an expert on gas chambers, and he became a Holocaust denier, saying that they couldn't have gassed people to death at the camps. Canada arrested him for. Now, I'm not a Holocaust denier, okay, and I think Holocaust deniers are sick. But we have freedom of speech. Holocaust deniers can deny it all they want, But in Canada, they put the guy on trial for it, for hate speech laws.
Oh, yeah. Hey, as far as criminalizing free speech, I believe that that is what Kamala Harris's handlers probably in store for us. Canada must be afraid of Trump, so
all the liberal Democrats. All the liberal Democrats, not just Canada.
All the liberal. Well, Steve, Democrats want to legalize pedophilia. Minor.
I've not heard that. I've not heard the minor directed people, but I'll tell you, I agree with most everything else you said, but I don't know. You're very obsessed with Canada. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. Tony from Boston.
Hey, long time no hear, Tony.
Been a long time, guys. Can't wait to talk to you.
Well, you're on the air now, so talk.
Good morning, guys. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's.
And of course, we're just a couple of days away from the start of Black History Month, so happy Black History Month.
Care less about that. My thing is President Donald Trump and my renewed invigoration upon life as of the swearing in of January 20th. I watched the Air Force One take off and land with such happiness, knowing who's on board.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great day, as I say again, to be alive. And as we all know, we really, really, really dodged the bullet.
Mm-hmm.
By the time he's done, and this is not even the tip of the iceberg, with this one full week of accomplishments and exposure.
And it's going to continue. You're watching what's going to be a 4-year play that's going to unfold each and every day with an accomplishment a day. It's like a running race.
Yeah, but the question is, you guys need to watch more MSNBC. This is my question, Tony. With these deportations, who's going to pick the strawberries? That's the big question on MSNBC.
There's a meme, Brian, which is appropriate. That question was asked back in 1865.
That's right.
Ironically, who's going to pick our cotton?
That's right.
These are 5 10 percenters.
Yeah. Democrats.
They used to represent 30% of the population, but not anymore.
All right, Tony, good to hear from you. We got to run for the bottom of the hour. Call us on hold. Stand by. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Tony seemed a little out of it.
The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
It's a beautiful Tuesday morning with a high of 74 degrees and will be mostly sunny all day. A low of 60 tonight and partly cloudy. Tomorrow will be partly sunny with a high of 74 degrees, and Wednesday night it will be partly cloudy with a low of 63 degrees.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long.
Oh, okay. I thought you forgot about us.
What's up?
How you been? Do you have anything in particular you want me to bring up?
Our show.
Okay.
We're going to talk about that, coming up. I was trying to get my MAGA hat. And
Oh, the show. Oh, the one with me.
Yeah.
Oh, when's that going to
Yeah,
be?
it's running tonight at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
They can also go on and play it on YouTube.
Okay.
We got a YouTube channel set up. Good stuff today.
Yeah, oh yeah, plenty of stuff.
Particularly like Selena.
Oh my gosh, you're coming in Thursday too, right?
Yeah. If
Okay.
you want me to, I can always.
Yeah,
change
no,
it.
no, it's fine. I just want to make sure.
Okay, Selena Gomez, man, that's crazy. My
Oh,
kids-
she's nuts.
My girls loved her.
Yeah, my daughter too. I know.
Yeah.
She's a nutcase.
It's her people, man. Right? How can you tell me that's good at rapists, killers, child?
Those are her people, she said. She's so actors are stupid people.
I didn't know Tom Hanks was like that. My wife
Oh,
loves
he's
him.
nasty.
Really?
I was very surprised how
Really?
nasty he is.
I like to show my wife actors. Tom Hanks.
I've seen him on a few interviews lately.
Yeah. I don't know. Crazy world. Crazy people too.
That's for sure.
What else is new? How was
Not much.
California?
Oh, it was liberal. Great. It was great.
Was there any damage where you went?
No. The one place you need photo ID in California is to drive down the streets where the fires were.
Really?
Yeah, they won't let you.
Wow.
All right, and we are back, and Joe Thomas is in studio. Hey, Joe.
Hey.
You know, I was on your show, which is going to air tonight.
Yes.
Right? And, you know, you were telling me something. We'll talk about the show in a minute. There's always time to talk about me.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. But you told me something, and this is, I get all kinds of mind-blowing information every time we talk. You know, I hear these guys, they're like, they say they're retirement experts, but they're really like gurus. And I hear these things that scare people. Oh, to retire, you need to have $3 million in the bank. And this, and most people are like, I mean, I know some people do and have more, but most people, no. You were telling me there's a lot of people that can retire and they don't even realize that they can retire. And you were telling me in particular about a woman, I think she worked at Publix.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit about that? Because it was an amazing story.
Sure. So here's what happens. A lot of people hear all this rhetoric out there about retiring, and you need $5 million. I mean, Susie Orman says you need $10 million. I mean, these are
my goodness,
crazy numbers.
$10 million.
Yeah, it's impossible to get these kind of numbers, right? I mean, so this particular person came in. This happened with many people, where they come in with a certain amount of money, and we run the numbers. And we say, hey, look, here's what you're going to get annual from us, guaranteed payment per month or per year. And she said, oh my God. She looked at her husband. And she said, that's more than I'm making now.
Wow.
I don't have to work. She came back a week later and said, Joe, we're going to do what you're suggesting here. I want to retire. And they retire. And I've had this happen many, many times where people just retire.
And this is a woman who worked at Publix.
Publix worker, right.
So this is not someone who's some rich lawyer or accountant or something. This is somebody that works very hard for their money, and they're living a better life and earning more money in retirement than slaving away at Publix.
So you've talked about, public workers, how they work for the government and they have a pension plan.
Mm-hmm.
Those people are happy in many respects because they have a guaranteed income.
Yeah.
That's what we provide. We provide the income stream that they don't have with a 401k. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you've seen what happened on the news yesterday with DeepSeek, this Chinese algorithm that's been created for AI.
yeah.
So listen, if you're in the market yesterday and you have a 401k, your 401k went down a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't control this.
Everybody was in that.
Everybody's in that, right? I mean, the AI stocks are very popular now, the Magnificent Seven, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing wrong with them for a percentage of your money, but not all your retirement money. When you're going to retire in a year or two.
And when you, listen, most people that are in 401ks, you work hard, you make a good living, but you're not rich. You're not some hedge fund guy. So your 401k takes a hit. That's a serious hit for you.
It is. And, Brian, I don't know, maybe it's just the way I talk on the radio. Some people think, you got to have $1 million to talk to Jupiter Joe. No. We start with 25,000, 10,000 even. And a lot of times we'll start with a smaller amount, and then clients will move over different investments they have that they're not performing well.
You can't, but you do take clients that have $1 million.
Of course we do. Of course we do.
So if you have 1 million or 10 or 20 million, don't hesitate to call for that no charge consultation. But yeah, I think a lot of people wrongly think I've got to be rich.
Right. Right.
And you don't. In fact, I think oftentimes people that are not wealthy, they need your help more than the wealthy. And
they do, because they don't want to make a mistake with their money. And that's what I try to emphasize to people on our radio show is that, and on here, is that, hey, don't make a mistake because it's going to cost you dearly in your 60s or 70s. Most of our clients are in 65, 70 years of age. We work with younger folks as well. And older folks, but the point is the 65 spot is where you do not want to make mistakes. I call it the third quarter. If you want to get into the fourth quarter, you really better make no mistakes, honestly.
Yeah. Well, listen, now I'm going to be on your radio show today, so which is, of course, on all of our radio stations. So what time will that be?
Tonight at 6 p.m., okay? And then, or you can go to YouTube. You go to Jupiter Joe. I guess it's Jupiter Joe Thomas, I can't remember, on YouTube. Just Google Jupiter Joe. Or you can, I think it's on your show as well.
Okay. Yeah. But tonight on the radio at 6 o'clock, and you can tune in. And you have a very good show, and there's a lot of good information there. And I do listen to your show. But your show's also available on our radio station website and podcast, and I do listen to your show regularly. How do you know? That's how I know what to ask you about.
Thank you, Brian.
No, but I do. I listen to your show, and I told you this. This is a crazy thing, but some of the things you say, they sound almost too good to be true. Like this lady at Publix. Yeah. And here's the deal. Okay, working's great. I love working. I know you guys love working. But you can't work forever, and a lot of people out there, like this lady you're talking about, it gets harder to work as you get older.
Yeah, I mean, I have people that actually call me, and I kind of feel like they're a priest, or in many respects, they'll call me and say, hey, listen, they open up to me. I have a guy right now I'm working with, and he works for a city job. And he says, I can't stand it. They're making so much pressure on me, and I really want to retire, but I want to wait until I get this next pay increase, or I want to wait until my account is this much money. take a look at what you have, see if we can beat what you're going to do, and you know, we run the numbers for you if that makes sense. You know, to see if we can beat what you have.
I know some guys that have jobs. You talk about government jobs with pensions, and those last year or two, they almost have heart attacks because they want to work as much as they can to get that pension bump.
Exactly.
You could die doing that.
So TSPs, thrift savings plans, and the drop, and all the stuff you hear about with government workers, they're good, but you know, not all the time are they the best payout option.
Mm-hmm.
And we show people how you can relax a little bit more and make sure that you'll still have a guaranteed income.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, listen, I'm going to give you Joe's number. Now, the radio show is tonight at 6. Wherever you listen on the radio, to me, you can hear Joe's time. And that, by the way, is every week. But I'll be on the show tonight. But call Joe Thomas. Take advantage of this no-charge consultation. And remember, you can take advantage of this no matter where you're located in the country. Oh, I want to tell you, we had our inauguration party at Wings Plus in Coral Springs last Tuesday. There was a guy, he wouldn't stop talking about how much he loves you.
Really?
Oh, my goodness. I mean, you know, him and his wife, I don't know which one met with you or both, but him and his wife, they were like
Awesome.
on top of the world.
Awesome.
So here's Joe's number, 561-743-0999. And by the way, I didn't get your name, guy. If you want to be on a commercial, call in sometime. 561-743-0999. If you missed the number, just go to his website. It's very easy to remember, jupiterjoe.com. And the radio show's tonight at 6.
Brian, thank you so much. And by the way, you have great listeners. I got to be honest with you. They're best in the world.
Oh, well, thank you. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. Thank you so much. You hear that, guys? You're great. All right, let's go. And we're okay. All right, Steve, you back with us? Oh, my goodness. So if you're on hold, hang in there. I'm going to, you know, I think what Trump has done, I mean, you know, he hasn't even been president a full week yet, and all this stuff has happened. I mean, you know, and last Tuesday doesn't count because it's all parties. I think what Trump has done, I watched his speech last night in Miami at the Republican retreat, and I got to tell you, it was very surreal to watch him behind the podium with the presidential seal again. It felt so good. It was amazing. But I think what he's done a lot of great things, and it's hard to say this is the greatest. But what he's done that's long-lasting is he's changed the mindset of the people of the country, where there's a whole new mindset about what should be done. Exactly. I mean, you've been around for more presidents than me, and I don't think we've ever had a president in either of our lifetimes that has put America first for Americans like this.
Yeah, this is what it was. These are the things I think about when I'm falling asleep or trying. In my lifetime, there have been 2 inspirational presidents for me. I mean, this is
Well, of course, Richard Nixon's the first.
Everybody can make their own list, but to me, Reagan, I remember as being inspirational, and Kennedy, for me,
yeah,
at the time I was a liberal, was inspirational, and neither of those 2 gentlemen really can perform the magic that
No.
Trump can. And I'll tell you what the biggest difference is. Every day is a produced play, is part of a novel.
Mm-hmm.
It goes on forever, and you get to it, so you're watching close-ups. What we used to in television, pimple and porn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Camera comes right in and just focuses on the tip of your nose,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like you're living it.
Yeah.
Every day you live a new episode.
Yeah.
And that's what's turning people on in a way that wasn't so prevalent.
No, I agree.
It's developing common sense, and the others can't combat it. They can't fight it.
You know, one thing he brought up yesterday that I had no idea, and I don't think I'm alone in this, or maybe I am and I'm just an idiot, but I did not know that we did not have a missile defense shield in the United States. And a missile defense shield, which he's going to build, okay, I thought that of course we have intercontinental ballistic missiles that can hit enemy cities. Of course we have that. But I thought we also had missiles that could shoot down incoming ICBMs, and we don't. So we have never been, so through all this Cold War and all this stuff, we've never had a way to defend ourselves from enemy missile attack. I had no idea. I had no idea that we didn't have the ability to do that. In fact,
This Columbia story that just,
I love that one.
I mean, we are the strongest country on earth, bar none, overall in most major categories, where it counts, like finance and things like that. And yet we haven't been, certainly in the last
Please.
there was, we were filled with contempt for ourselves.
Yeah.
We had no respect. We had no patriotism. We had none of the glue that holds communities and civilization together. Now we're starting to have cohesive pride in our country. And you're watching an army. I'm telling you, in the next 30 to 60 days, you're going to start hearing the drumbeat for passing legislation that will enable Trump to run for a third.
And I'll vote for that.
Also, remember I told you about Fetterman, right?
Watch out for him.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Because I like to do my own prediction thing, and on some of these things that I say that seem so far-fetched, a couple weeks go by, and all of a sudden, gee, that's what Steve said.
Well, Steve, I got to tell you, though, President Trump told an amazing story about Biden at the rally in Las Vegas over the weekend. Okay, and he said that he has talked, and he was not kidding. He was talking to multiple foreign leaders who have told him that they would call Biden, they would be on hold for 30 minutes or an hour, he would never come to the phone, then a staffer would pick up the phone and say he'll call you back, and he would never call them back, or call them back 6 months later or 3 months later. I couldn't believe it. I mean, we survived probably the most dangerous period in our history the last 4 years.
And the real test, everybody's always talking about how great Donald is, and there is no question he is great. But to me, the real, and I said this before the election, the real hero of this election cycle are the people of the United States. This country was slipping, hanging over the precipice. One bad election, if Kamala had won this, we would have been finished as a country.
No doubt. Now, that's true. Well, now we're going to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking today?
Metals looking good, solid above the $2,700 number on gold and $30 on silver. Yesterday we saw a pullback, a nice pullback to give us a buying opportunity after hitting near record highs the day before. Gold settling down $30.10 yesterday on some profit taking at $2,740.50 the ounce. Silver down 38 cents at $30.16 the ounce. Platinum down $2 at $9.45. And palladium was down $44 at $9.42. This morning, a little bit of a rebound on gold, up $7. We've traded in a range higher and lower, and right now we're at $27.47.50. That's up $7. So we're down a nickel at $30.10 the ounce. Platinum down $9 at $9.36, and palladium down $5 at $9.37. So gold again holding nicely above that $2,700 number, and still very close to making all-time record highs.
Wow.
Possibly this week or next week.
Now, of course, everything's a good buy right now. You were telling me, and Steve, you with us? Okay, now yesterday, William Youngman, Steve and I were talking yesterday, and I was telling Steve what you were telling me about these great deals on the American products, the Great American Gold Eagle, the American Gold Buffalo, and the American Silver Eagle. Are those still in effect?
Yes, indeed. The premiums on not just the U.S. coin products, but the all of the products.
Really?
In the precious metals are great values right now as far as the premium plays are concerned. We have 100-ounce silver bars at a record low of 50 cents over spot silver. That's
really
as low as they've ever been, practically. And we've got a lot of other products that have tremendous savings to our clients. So check in with us on these premiums. They've given us a great
buying opportunity and even a premium play that as the demand picks up again, we'll see these premiums go back up. So many of the products are now selling below mint cost.
Yeah, so what was that? I want to get that straight because that sounded like a really good deal. You said 100-ounce silver bars, 50 cents.
It's overstock.
Oh, my God. You hear that, Steve? I love those bars. The first thing you had was a silver bar when you first got into the metals. I remember that. Yeah, I remember. All right, listen, give William Youngerman a call. He opens up at 10 a.m. His number, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Or stop in. His address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. And you can find both his address and phone number on his website, williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow. All right, take care. I remember that first silver bar you had, Steve. And silver was like $9 or something then when you got that thing. I remember it was like really low. It was like $10 or something. And now look at it.
All that time trying to talk you into getting.
Good, yeah.
This was what?
Gold was, I remember, I was like Albert Brooks in Defending Your Life. Okay, if you've ever seen that movie, you'll get this. When Steve and I first met William Youngerman, gold was $435 an ounce. And Steve, you told me you better buy some. I said, Steve, gold has been around for 5,000 years. Okay, it's $435 an ounce. How much higher can it go? And it's over $2,700 an ounce today. So I'm a dummy. I was a dummy that day. But hey, oh well. At those prices, you could have afforded to buy me gold, Steve, as a gift. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, guys. Tom, Florida.
Hey, Tom.
Just out of curiosity,
Price of eggs. Watch this.
You guys say Trump a third term. How would that happen?
Look at this. It's going to be complex.
Besides the constitutional amendment.
That's how it happens.
I'll tell you how. Hold on one second. It's got to go through Congress, obviously. But what's going to happen is they're going to find a way to do it without creating a law that would also enable not that Biden can again, but that will prevent presidents like Obama
or Clinton
from getting out of the term.
All right. Do you guys remember who the longest president was?
Yeah, the FDR, 4 terms.
Okay, 4 terms, exactly. During what time was he granted his 4th presidency?
The Second World War?
Yes, at wartime.
Do you know the answers to this?
They made the Constitution.
You don't even know what you're talking about. You're so stupid. You're so uninformed.
Right. First of all,
it wasn't an emergency.
And then you ready?
Go ahead. Yes, I'm
The
ready.
reason why. Okay. Well, thank you, Steve. I was basically making that point, saying that the reason why he was granted that extra presidential time was because of war.
No, that's not true.
That is true.
It is not true.
What is your proof of that?
Yes.
It's
Rachel Maddow.
Hey, the war was going on.
No.
And due to the fact that they.
Oh my goodness! What a fool this guy is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me continue.
Where'd you go to school?
Due to the.
Right. Let me play.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Due to the fact that wartime was happening was the only reason why he was reelected president.
That is not proof of the. That is not. Hold on one second. Hold on. I defended
are you going to interrupt or allow me to finish the sentence?
I'm going to hang up in a minute if you shut up. All right.
All right, Steve.
I fought to get you on the air, so don't make me look bad.
I've been hanging out for 20 minutes. Go ahead.
All right. The fact that there happened to be a war going on during Roosevelt's term in office is not proof that it wouldn't happen without each other. Okay? So, move on to the next point, because that doesn't...
Okay. All right, and my next point is this. Okay, here we go. Trump enters the United States stock market, biggest ever in history. He's doing fantastic. It seems to be everybody's losing money in the stock market except for Donald Trump, when presidents shouldn't even be making money at the time.
Do you know how much of a salary Donald Trump has?
It doesn't matter about his salary.
Do you answer my question? I answer yours, you answer mine. Do you know what Donald Trump's salary as President of the United States is?
As a president? I'm sorry, as a president. CEO of a company. I was like $275 a year? $75 a year?
No, as a matter of fact, it's $450. And what does he do with his salary?
Buy more hats from China?
No. Well, see, this is why I'm...
To sell to the American people?
Hold on. Take a breath. Take a breath. You're doing very well.
You take a breath.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm glad you called this place. Maybe there's hope for you, because now I can educate you a little bit. The fact is, I believe the amount the president is $450.
It's 400.
What?
400,000.
Okay, so he
No, Tom. Tom.
Hold on. And just want to give you the second part. You know what he did? Do you know what he does with his salary?
He forfeit his salary.
He doesn't forfeit. You know what forfeit means?
Does he give it to a charity?
Do you know what the word forfeit means?
If you told me which charity, Steve, he gives his money to,
he doesn't.
You know which charity it is?
I'm really trying to be patient here. He doesn't forfeit.
You don't even know the charity.
I don't know what you're talking about. The fact
is,
he returns his salary to the government. He doesn't take a salary. He works for nothing. What do you think of them apples, you jerk?
Hey, ready? Guess what? You know what Donald Trump has been selling? He's the QVC president, Steve.
Get off the phone, you jerk.
Call
back.
Well, you said you wanted to hear from liberals. I mean, you know. Yeah, from the short school bus. Now, I want to talk about Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. You know, he has rid me of pain 7 times. A couple times, you know, aging pains, like my knee and my finger, that was arthritis, but I've had a lot of injuries. I've fallen, I've hurt myself, all kinds of things here and there, and he's treated me every time. And the pain that he has rid me of in those 7 treatments has not returned. The first time he treated me was over 2.5 years ago in my right knee. And he treated me, and that pain was gone, and it has not returned. And the same is for the other 6 times, too. I've met so many of our listeners, Steve, and including at Wings Plus. I've met about 10 listeners at Wings Plus who told me that they are pain-free thanks to Dr. Appleton. It's amazing. His laser treatment works. It's 100% painless. There's no shots, no injections, no drugs, no pills, no downtime. Dr. Appleton performs all the treatments himself. It works on every type of pain I've ever heard of. And I'm learning about new pains all the time. Every time I meet someone, they tell me about a pain I never heard of that they've been rid of, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. Walk-ins are welcome. Appointments are never necessary, even on Saturdays. Give Dr. Appleton a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. All right, let's see if we can get a call from the regular school bus, not the short one like the last guy, Steve. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Steve, Brian. How are you today? I'm great. It's interesting, you know, President Trump is in his second administration here, and he has yet to draw, I think, a single dollar in compensation for all the work and all the great things.
Well, you know, what he wanted to do was not take a salary. They wouldn't let him do that, so he has to donate it, which is just as, you know. Can you imagine? Yeah.
We're going to force him to at least take $1, so it'd be like a contract. So, I mean, you know, I mean, honest to God. I think Steve made a great point. As far as the great communicators, we've had John Kennedy being a Democrat, a tremendous communicator, and Ronald Reagan, a Republican, a tremendous communicator. If you look at Donald Trump, though, his first administration, he was held down with battling the media, the legacy media then. Now the legacy media is continuing to fade. He will no doubt be the greatest communicator we've had as a president, I think.
Absolutely. And Kennedy was a do-nothing, by the way. He did nothing. He used a lot of... If he didn't die, he'd be forgotten if he wasn't killed in office. He had a bunch of platitudes. They were good and great, but he was like Obama. He said things like, oh, don't ask what the country could do for you, but we do this and the other things, not because they're easy, because they're hard, He just had a bunch of phrases. He really didn't do much.
Well, the other thing is he's always going to be thought of as a young president because of the assassination and that.
Mm-hmm.
Is we've never had a communicator like that. The only other communicator, but he wasn't a president, Martin Luther King was a great, I think, speech maker. But Donald Trump, his connection with the people, no one's ever had that.
Never.
Had a clear playing field.
That's why they hate him.
That's why they hate him. But as they continue to fade, they're not going to be able to do anything about it.
This Jim Acosta out at CNN is the beginning of the end of what's left of the legacy mainstream media.
Wow. Well, there's a guy that had it coming. The way in the press conferences during Trump's first term was a disgrace.
Mm-hmm.
Been tolerated at all. But I don't think many people are going to miss him.
Mm-mm. No. Well, I'm curious to see this first press conference with Carolyn Levitt, because that's a tough job, and I've seen her as a talking head, but I've not seen her in a press conference. So I hope it goes well.
Young, but I hope she'll do well.
Well, there's a thing about age that helps. Like when Dana Perino was press secretary, she didn't know what the Cuban Missile Crisis was, right? She didn't. That was bad. She was on with Don Imus. She didn't know what it was, and Don Imus thought she was joking, and she wasn't. So, and she was young then. I'm sure she knows what it is now. But, when there's someone young who's the press secretary, I've seen this happen time and time again. McEnany was the only young press secretary that pulled it off. You got to
But,
pay cut.
Point. I met Stan Lee years and years ago.
Who?
Guy.
Who's Stanley?
You mentioned...
Oh, Stan Lee. Stan Lee, yes. Yeah, Stan Lee. Stan Lee, and remember I always said Steve had dinner with Stan Lee in New York. Remember who was with you, Steve? Stan Lee. Al Goldstein. Look up Al Goldstein if you don't know who that is, and that tells you something about Stan Lee, doesn't it? That you didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he may be the one that had the secret identity, not just Spider-Man. Yeah. All right. Take care. Yeah. Could be. All right. Take care. I'm serious. But Al Goldstein was a nice guy, though. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
No, I don't.
Hello. You're on the air. Yeah. Oh, your conversation seems more interesting. Get back to that.
Hi. No, not back to that. This is Sandra from Delray Beach.
20 seconds, Sandra.
Right. Yeah. Okay. FDR had a third term.
He was elected to the fourth, but died. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right.
Yes, everybody knows that, but Tom. Okay, because Tom's an idiot. All right, that's it, Steve. We're out of here for today, but we'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the air. My name is Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, has been here. And I didn't even get to a tenth of my show prep, so don't miss tomorrow's show. We got a lot going on, and there'll be a lot more that happens today on top of that. All right, take care, everyone. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump. See you tomorrow.
WSFS 104.3.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. All right, take care.